And we're live. We're live this evening. Monday, Easter Monday.
Easter Monday.
I keep forgetting it's Easter Monday.
Eh,
What's that mean?
Well, yeah, Easter Monday.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
I keep forgetting it's Easter Monday.
What?
Man, I forgot to mute on the YouTube channel, and my voice sounds like shit.
What? Am I not heard at this moment? It's okay if I'm not, but
No,
I
we
think I
hear
heard.
you.
I
You're
think I
complete.
think
You're
what?
Steven's just ignoring
What?
you.
What is it? Well, my massage therapist told me a story about Easter Monday.
oh, let's hear it.
There's this guy who was very rebellious, and people got really angry and said he committed a crime. So they took him and strung him up and killed him. And then after he died, they put him in a cave and put a stone in front of it. And on Easter Monday, the rabbit came and pushed the stone out of the way. Oh my God! So I was so happy.
What was the cave heated?
Thermally heated.
I did not ask. I did not ask my massage therapist enough details. Besides, I was just laying there listening to stories. Right, one of the stories I got. I highly
Start.
recommend massage therapy.
Well, yeah,
Make
because
sure you get ones that have stories.
well, that
Oh, of course.
don't most of them have stories though?
Well, I guess you know what
Come on,
they probably a
you
lot of
get
them
them talk.
probably
You get
do.
them talking enough, they're going to give you some stories.
Of course, they see so many people. They're bound to have stories.
Come on, you haven't gone in. Look, you haven't gone into a massage therapist and said, "I'm a paranormal investigator."
I
Really?
didn't. That's what
Really?
you would do. Oh my goodness, that would
And
be
then
awesome.
and then the stories flood. I remember like I've said this a few times. Going to going to the states and going through the border, going through customs,
Mm, mm.
and you stop and they where are you from? Canada. That's where I'm coming from. You Canadian? Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Which state your business? I'm going to conduct a paranormal investigation. I don't say it like that. Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Good to see you. Explore Norfolk. How are you? I don't say that. I say I'm going to ghost hunt,
Oh
and
yes.
their ears perk right up. No, it doesn't matter. They just perk up and they go, "Really? Where are you going?" And then when you tell them, like, this one incident, we were going to Iron Island Museum in Buffalo, New York, and I told them we're going to Iron Island Museum in Lovejoy, New York, which is like a suburb of Buffalo. And you're like, no way, no way, my dad lives around there.
Awesome.
And then they want to hear all about it, right?
Yeah.
They're so intrigued with it, you know. You're like, so you have to oblige. You have to tell them some stories, and
Oh, you
of
get
course,
to tell stories. Oh,
well,
cool.
you don't you got to be quick about it. Obviously, I mean, you can't like
You got a
linger because
lineup
then you're gonna have a
behind
lot of
you.
people pissed off behind you, right? Like, what the
Depending
fuck's
on the
taking this?
day you go through. Yeah.
What's taking so long?
That's awesome.
And then you say, even though you don't know the guy behind you, you say, my equipment guy's behind me.
No,
He
really?
he's got all the he's got all the
Behind
infrared
me.
cameras and everything. And then of course they stop and check the car, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Remind me never go to the States with you, Steve.
Well,
You've already been a few times, right?
I know.
in the car is okay, maybe. It'd be bad to be in the car behind him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I wouldn't want to be behind them for
Dude,
multiple reasons.
Yeah.
we should get Jeremy to join us. Jeremy, you should join us.
Jeremy, where are you?
Jeremy, you
Oh,
should
there
join
you
us.
are, Jeremy. Oh, that's Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Crow, though.
Anybody would like to
He.
join us, please. This is completely open.
So,
Jeremy, it's been a while. We'd love to hear from you. It's been a long time. Come on in. Anyone would like
anyone
to join
else?
us.
Explore Norfolk.
Which is an urban explorer, I believe, in the UK.
Well, it says
Yeah,
explorer. I'd love to
yeah.
know what he explores. Or they? Is it a?
Lots of abandoned and
Oh, like
cool
you
stuff.
told me that you wanted to have I was going to a place where they're
He's sitting on a beach on the beach.
oh, is it wonderful? You can still
He's not
join us.
exploring an abandoned. He's not exploring an abandoned facility, but he's sitting on the beach.
It's a little cold for that. Is he like south
Well,
of us? Is that what's going on?
maybe it could be. I mean, it's a little cold here. I mean, what's with the snow?
I love it. I don't know. Snow. I know a lot of people are saying
you guys,
snow.
Alex, did you get snow up there?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got snow.
What the hell, man? Like come on.
Or is it bothering you really?
I could lick my balls.
Well, no.
The snow is going to lick your balls, or
Oh.
that's what you're going
I
to
feel like it licked my balls. If
Alex
I dunk them in there.
only wishes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if that's what Alex needs, then that's what Alex needs.
See, it's that's the problem. When he's drinking water, this is what we get.
Oh,
I know.
okay. Come on, Alex. What do you got there? Come on.
He's drinking water. He's straight tonight.
I had to turn my cup around because it has advertising on it. So
Yeah, Zine, I'm surprised at that advertising. What's
I
going on?
know. Totally shocking for me of all people, right? I'm sorry. I don't know. I like this cup. It's just the perfect size for a good what's it called? When you put tea and whiskey and hot toddy.
Hot toddy, okay.
Perfect size for a hot toddy.
Yeah, Jeremy, if you have a chance to jump in, we'd love
Oh,
we'd
Jeremy's
love that.
working.
Yeah.
Jeremy's working. Well, Justin, I said that Justin was joining us, and I guess perhaps Justin still will.
Well, Justin, I don't think has. Hold on, let's see. He hasn't got his message yet, so. He said if he has time, he'll jump in here. So.
Okay, cool, wonderful. So, how has the adventure been for you two?
Good, fun.
Yeah.
Never ending.
Yeah.
Never-
Always changing.
Yes.
It's
The
evolving.
show has. Yes.
It's
But
always evolving. Yeah.
Yes. How many years now?
13.
50. Has it been 15?
No, we're on season 14. For me, it's been
We're-
13.
Yeah, season 14.
Yeah.
Well,
So
since 2008, anyways.
So wow, now.
But we've started a new journey. We're trying to find a replacement for Big Fat Burrito.
Mm.
Because
You mean a restaurant?
a good burrito, like a really good burrito.
That's an awesome
And-
place.
And it yeah, you were there, were you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Closed down.
I think
Yeah.
we had to. Yeah,
And
we met in
clo-
Toronto. Yeah.
It closed down. It's no longer there. Now we need to find a replacement. Yeah, it's gone.
Was that from COVID kind of?
Oh, they closed
No.
down before COVID.
Long before that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Wow.
Too bad. It's really
Well, I just didn't get a chance to make many trips out there. So you need a replacement?
we need a replacement. We really do.
I'll keep my eye out then. It needs to be Mexican food.
Well, no, just as long as they make a good burrito. And we've tried a few places. I mean,
I'll find an Egyptian restaurant that makes great burritos.
and I think I was telling you about one place, Alex, here in Burlington, but you know what? Scrap that. They just closed up shop.
Oh, they closed up.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
they weren't even there long. I think there's one in Hamilton, Zena.
What's it called?
Mexican something. I don't know.
Well, look it up and send me a link. There is a place that Dakota and I found that
Yeah.
is out on the other side of Gage Park.
Yeah.
That I was quite surprised by, and I could. It would really hurt me to go there and test the food again.
It would really hurt you to
Oh,
touch
yeah.
the food again.
Yeah, oh yeah. I guess I'll do that for you. I'll send you pictures.
Well,
Jealous.
yeah. I mean, it depends on if it's quality, if it's going to be good enough. Who knows, right?
It's kind of like a family owned, down. It's really I like the food.
So Alex and I have been talking about we've been talking about bringing the show on the road again.
On the road again.
Oh, like do a
On the road,
location?
Yeah, we're talking about doing a location again.
Oh, well, that is so wonderful with an audience, right?
with an audience.
Okay.
We love to come up.
Staircase theater. Do you
Yeah.
want me to? Do you want me to set it up?
Why you've
They
got
got cameras, everything there.
Do they got Wi-Fi? If they got Wi-Fi,
They got
is it
no,
not-
they got
if-
cameras. They've got everything set up for what you're doing here.
We have to
really?
record it then if they don't have Wi-Fi.
They have Wi-Fi.
They have
Do they?
Wi-Fi.
Yes.
If they have Wi-Fi, then it's a done deal.
Yeah. Oh, and I discovered that if you get Skylink,
Uh-huh.
that you can just
Skylink,
get a battery, take it around anywhere you want, and set it up.
a battery.
Yeah, like a rechargeable, like the ones you can use solar to charge it or anything to charge it. Where you
Mhm.
take a battery and you take your Starlink out, and you've got Wi-Fi anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, it works off the cell network.
I can't think. I think I was at the staircase for Autumn's premiere.
They
I
have.
believe it that was in 2009.
Well, I interview the owner on my show. His name is Hugh McLeod. It's
Yeah.
shifted a few times in the last few years, but it's still going. And most recently, he mentioned how they do have all the cameras set up, and they've got, like, I'd asked him because they were having troubles running it. I said, just go Wi-Fi, just set up the cameras, just do that, right?
Mhm.
And I didn't know if they were, and whoever took over just did that, right? They just saw the same thing that anyone would see.
Where is it again? Where's the staircase?
Dundurn Street in Hamilton, between Main and King, I think.
You know what?
sorry.
I could swear that I went for an interview there. I did an interview in there actually not too
Oh,
long
yeah,
ago
okay.
on Hamilton parent the guy who runs Hamilton Ghost Walks.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
He had a
Wait,
podcast.
Who's running that now?
Daniel. I believe
Okay,
it's Dan.
I don't know Daniel. Okay. But anyway, yeah, so you've been in the building. It used to be a hydro building.
Okay. But this is a while ago. This is like before COVID. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the same building. I'm almost certain it's the same building.
If you're going towards the bay, it's on the left-hand side. If you're coming up off of York, sorry, it's between York and I'm sorry. It's between King and York Boulevard.
I if it's the same place I'm thinking about, I loved it. Because like I said,
Superb building, yeah.
he was doing it was a podcast, so he was recording it, but we had a live audience there.
That's it. And okay.
And it was pretty good. Yeah, I remember.
I'll check out bookings in there. What day do you normally? It's Sunday.
Well,
still.
we broadcast Sundays between 9 and 11.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'll check it out for you. I'd be happy to do that. And you can get an audience because they have opened up a bit that way. And that was the best part, wasn't it?
Oh, we loved it. We loved
having people there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I don't know if you remember. I think it was Alex, was it the first or second time we did it at the guest house?
Second time I couldn't
I
make
think it was the second time.
I was sick, right?
What?
The
It was
second
the
time.
Second time we had a guy all the way from India.
is
That was there.
Is that part of because it was a backpackers hostel?
It could have been. I don't know, but he walked up to us and he goes, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah." I can't remember what his name was, but I'm from India. I used to listen to you in India, and I absolutely love this show. And I was
Oh yes, I remember that.
wondered if I could get your autographs. I'm like,
That
oh,
that was crazy.
yeah, like
yes.
I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah.
the second show.
was it the second show?
I'm pretty sure it was.
That's when we had the guys on from. Oh God!
It was a while
Hey,
ago.
cool. How you doing?
Cool tools.
Cool's Tools. He's got some really cool
Tools.
photos.
Oh,
and
photos. Oh, of phenomena.
Phenomena.
So Jeremy brought up a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's
We have
that?
400. We have 420 subscribers just in time for 420.
I know, eh? Isn't that cool?
Smoke them if you got them.
Well,
What?
unless we
Can I
get
just eat my candy? I'll just eat my candy.
That's sure you could do it that way.
Okay. I'd enjoy that.
once again, if anyone would like to join us, it's completely open this evening, and well, we'd like to thank Zena for joining us. And you know what? If you guys have been listening to this show for years, you're an avid listener. You remember Zena was a co-host for a while on the show.
Oh, it was a wonderful gift. I really enjoyed it. Thank you. Yeah.
And you know what? You have your own show now. You have your own
Yeah.
podcast that I've been you've been kind enough to have me on, and I absolutely enjoyed being on. Just tell everyone about your podcast, your show, and all that kind of stuff.
I decided I wanted to have people who talk to people who they all everyone I noticed does a community service in some way. You
Mhm.
do, right? Everybody does. But they all still have a sense of awe and wonder.
Yeah.
So these people span things like paranormal, uh, uh, people who are abducted by aliens, as an example,
Mhm.
People who study the concept of anything paranormal, like yourself and others, all the way to doctors, to radio hosts, actual radio hosts, to other podcasters, to people who run art centers, to artists from all over the world. All these people are from across the globe. And my interest is, I mean, typically when you have a podcast, people and you're talking to people, usually, oh, they released a book, right? Most of these people don't, you know. If they're artists, they're presenting something, but they do something
Yeah.
that is of service to their community, every single one of them in some way. Like I've had 2 people on just before like this week and next week, and they run paranormal esoteric shops, right?
Mhm.
Andrew McGregor runs a shop in Toronto.
I know that one.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Hermit's Lamp.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's up right now. And I have a young woman, Melanie from London, who just opened a shop in London, Ontario.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's a really vast array of people. But to be honest with you, what is in common, most people wouldn't see it right away. You know, if you said, oh, this person is a doctor, this person's a scientist, because it really goes across the board
Mhm.
of who I have on. Oh,
Well,
I should tell them the name.
go for it.
It's called
Yes.
yeah, yeah, My Heart Remembers podcast. And you can get it on any of the platforms. And I have a website for My Heart Remembers podcast as well. And you can go there and see all of the shows over the last 3 years. Yeah.
And you are a musician as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you've
Over
you've
50 years. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, let's not forget that. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah. Oh, and I have music. Yeah. So Sublimatus, which you'll see on the chat if you're there, is the my YouTube thing that I'm chatting with. And Sublimatus is where you'll find my music in different areas online. Yeah, it's been a very rough few years for music for myself and a lot of other people. And I'm really just diving into it. I
Mhm.
am also a multimedia artist, which I'm
Yeah.
sure I've never really talked with you about, but I am working on an installation with right now 2 other artists that
Mhm.
I'll be. Oh, when I get it booked, I'll let everyone know because it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be really neat.
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, interactive as well. Yeah.
Yeah, interacting is I believe is very important, especially now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people have lost that sort of sense of being able to interact.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, I know. I'm surprised that people didn't go insane by now. I'm really freaked out about. Is it Shanghai or where is it? In
oh, I
China.
know, eh? Yeah, in China, they're really brutal, man. They're just they're like. But
It-
I mean, look at. Do we want to say it's the reason why they've been able to scave the large amount of numbers that they're supposed, or is it that they just weren't telling people how many cases? I don't know. Whatever.
we do know that we're probably never gonna actually know
No,
what's
God,
going on there.
no, no. But I
That,
mean, you
that's as
have to remember
closest we're gonna get.
they're a communist country, and they have more strict policies, obviously, that they can put in place that a lot of other countries can't, because a lot of the other countries, because they're not communist, will not stand for that kind of especially when you have elected politicians. But even with elected politicians, that hasn't stopped them either.
Oh no, you're
However,
teasing, right? Like
yeah.
we had it so bad here in Canada. It was
Yeah.
just horrific. We had to stay in our homes.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's rough for some people. I do know that. Like I know people who decided they didn't. Why am I going here? There's so many beautiful things we could be talking about. But I know people who said, I'm not going to get the vaccination. And I'm like, okay, you know.
Hey, Adrian, how are you?
Yeah. Hey, Adrian.
Adrian,
Yeah. Well, hey. So how is the ghostings going?
the ghostings.
The ghosting.
Yeah.
The ghostings are going very well. Thank you.
Lovely.
Steve's keeps scaring them away.
We are
Purposely?
about to, we're,
Yep.
we're yeah, purposely.
I'm kind of for that, by the way.
All he's got to do is drop his pants.
this guy over here.
I'm uncertain how that
That guy
happens.
there
Anyway,
is the ghost deterrent,
Yeah.
not me.
I'm pointing the wrong way.
I know. I was.
No, it's kind of weird. Right there.
There. There we go.
But we're about to embark later on this week, actually, back into the mysterious dark woodlot.
Really? You're
And
gonna
I had an idea, Alex,
Mm.
that this visitation that we have there, I might edit into an episode to jumpstart the intrigue of the woodlot.
Are you gonna make it into a separate episode?
A separate episode.
Okay.
A separate episode.
So it's gonna be just a little warmer. It's supposed to snow all week, right?
It's supposed to be 13, I believe.
I'm only teasing you.
13. It's supposed to be nice on Friday, actually.
So you could just go out there, after dark, of course.
So we have better control of the environment.
It's true. Less people.
Well, there's a lot of noise pollution, but
Oh, in the area?
yeah, what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Not much. You can't
Put
do
up
much.
walls.
Put up walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god. That would
Quick,
be
Alex.
funny.
Secure the west wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put a bunch of walls up around the spot where you know this is, and you can like test it and
Wait a sec. Walls. Where did these walls come from, Alex? I don't remember walls here before.
I hired
So-
the same contractors that Trump ordered.
Trump.
oh, so therefore they'll never get up properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're imaginary.
Well, because we got to find people that will pay for it.
Yes.
But wait a sec.
The
This is-
ghosts.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for 420, so they're imaginary, so it doesn't matter.
So have
That's
you
it.
always been doing 420, or is it just because now it's why not legally?
No, that was Jeremy making a comment on the amount of subscribers we have currently.
Yeah, so I got
Just
that.
in time for
420.
420.
That's lovely. I love it.
It's synchronicity.
Synchronicity, yeah.
That's telling us something, Steve. Our next show, we got to fucking do it as high as kites.
Well,
Oh, of course, yeah. On
this
420.
well, yeah. This Sunday
I don't even know what day it
is
is.
going to be a bit of a I don't know, a bit of a what's the word I'm looking at here, Alex? A bit of a
Comedy relief,
no, a bit of a different sort of take on the show.
different spin.
Spin
Oh, what? When?
on
This Sunday.
Sunday. We're having a certified holistic nutritionist on.
Okay, cool. That's a whole art for. Do you know this person for a
Yeah,
while?
I do. Yes,
Yeah.
I do. And she's going to be coming on. We're going to talk about that, which is
I dated one. He's dead now.
to be blunt. Yeah, okay.
That doesn't sound good, Tina.
I'm not not naming names.
So what are you saying? It's a total sham?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that's cool though, because it's really I can add that it's really a wonderful area of health that is worthwhile definitely pursuing for people. Yeah. So that's different for you because
Well, we've chatted about it. We've talked about it briefly here and there that, we could probably put a show together, and I found somebody that would like to come on and talk about so I mean, obviously people, the regular listeners, all you guys out there, that if you have any questions,
yeah, come up with them now.
come
Yeah.
up with them and let us know.
Try to get a free session out of her.
Yeah.
I'm teasing. No.
We need
No,
we need to bring a psychic on and have a free session then.
Oh fuck, man. We should bring what was her name? Sandy Crystal.
Who?
What was her name?
I don't know.
Live from the UK.
I don't know any
Sandy
psychics.
Crystal was her name.
I don't know any
And
psychics.
we actually had live phone-in calls, and she was doing things on the show. That was God. That was 19, or sorry, 19, 2000 and I don't know, 10.
I'm
That was
just
a long time
laughing
ago.
about the
That was a long
19.
time ago.
I hate to say it, but people, get a certain age. I'm not saying anything about my age, but I say 19 a lot in my head.
No, Dems were the good days, eh? 19,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a whole freaking load of
And I
baloney.
used to walk to school 5 miles up the hill in snow 2 feet deep.
90 degrees and snow
Yeah.
2 feet deep. Yeah, you got it. No shoes.
No shoes. You can't. You couldn't afford it.
Try doing it now. Try doing it now.
You kidding? They'll get blisters by the time they get to the door.
Are you kidding? Exactly.
The things that you bitch about now, you're like, what the fuck?
I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm.
Now we know how our parents felt.
Yeah. And
That's scary,
I know,
isn't it?
my dad was someone, friends of mine had come by and they're like, who's that on the roof? I said, oh, my dad. And they're like, isn't he like in his 80s? I'm like, oh yeah, that's my dad. What can you say? He was just fixing something up there.
Well, if you're in your 80s and you're fixing something up on the roof, you're okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm
You know-
hoping I inherited some of that, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. So how about you? I mean, what have you been up to? What besides the podcast and everything else, what have you been doing? I like how she's like,
I have to think long and hard about that. Well, it's very funny. I'll start with a friend of mine. Oh, Frank, how you doing? I've missed you, Frank. I really have. I've missed Alex and Steve as well, but you way more.
Frankie's the old school guy.
the old school guy. He doesn't go anywhere.
Nope.
Yeah, no, but he usually is there with us,
Yep.
right there waiting.
All the time.
Yeah.
He's in the background.
Yes. Oh, I was saying.
You was saying, yes.
I think I was saying, oh, the story is a friend of mine, many, many moons ago, had called me up and said, Sina, what are you doing right now? I said, oh, really nothing. And then after about 15 minutes of chatting, he says, yeah, right, Sina, you just told me the things you're working on. It's a huge amount of things, and that's you. So during COVID, that was shut down to some degree. Like some of the things I would normally be working on, like we had Panoptivox as a, because I do make documentary films, and Panoptivox was part of it. It was moving forward, and it was a one-to-one sitting in a room, and that was not allowed, and it's safer not to do, obviously. So it kind of put a damper on the process of some of the work I was doing like that, where sitting in with people. I did a couple interviews for the podcast in a park near where I lived. We like during COVID, but we were sitting quite a few feet away with our little microphones on and whatnot. Yeah. But as it goes, we started using drones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drones.
Yeah.
Well, we've been using drones with the documentary, by the way. But
Yeah, exactly. Aren't they lovely?
oh, I love drones.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm what did I do over that time? Did I release much? I know I worked on a few things and released some things. My brain is just stumped on what they were at the moment. I know that a bunch of things are sitting and waiting to be released.
Mhm.
For example, I put together an adult mystical coloring book for adults.
Wait a sec.
Yeah,
A mystic coloring book for adults. What if they're colorblind?
Well, they're going to color whatever they want. Oh, if they're not
It's gonna look
colorful,
all gray.
to them. Well, that is a sad thing to have, and thankfully, it's a lower part of the population. You know,
Yeah.
I will consider that. I mean, I'm very sad because some people I know want to hear my show, and I don't have it transcribed, and they're blind, deaf, right? So they can't.
Well, we've got a problem here. A lot of our listeners have Tourette's. So they'll
shit!
come on. They'll come on.
Fuck you! I don't want to make fun of that.
That's fine because
That's not fun to make fun of that. No,
no.
it's not a fun thing to have.
No.
But you're teasing
Steve has Tourette's when he has a couple of beers in him.
Yeah.
Oh, is this new though, Steve? Because I mean, because it doesn't have to be great beer.
Oh, here, look it.
You weren't happy with your beer. You said, "Oh,
No,
you can't taste it."
I'm happy with it, but I can't taste it. I mean, I can taste it, but I can't. But look at the artwork.
That is amazing. I've never seen you hold up a beer can that isn't awesome, but that one's really beautiful. And what's it called?
Growing up absurd. I love it.
That was made for you.
Well, I know, but
I think I'm going to start
almost,
buying it now.
Almost time
as well.
for a second one.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm not kidding you. I'm serious. See, it's no fun with Alex, is it? Because he's drinking water tonight.
There could be anything in that bottle, though.
I'm not saying anything.
No.
I'll leave it up to the imagination.
No, I believe him. He's drinking water.
Yeah.
He's got an early day tomorrow. He does. I mean, I do too, but
yeah.
I don't know. What time do you get up for work, Alex?
5:30.
Well, I get up a half an hour after you, 6.
I'm up a little.
I try to. That is, I try to get up at 6. I mean, I try. I mean, I really do. I do try.
How many times you hit the snooze button?
You know what? I'm actually pretty good. When that alarm goes off, I'm right up. And I'll tell you why.
Oh, did you see what Dakota just did?
What?
Hamilton Scene just made it 4:20.
Just made it not 4:20. So he subscribed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So now they're 4:20. We're 4:21. Woohoo! Thank you, Hamilton Scene.
Hold on a second. Simon has a good comment.
Okay.
Don't drink the water, Alex. Fish fucking it.
Where's that? I didn't see that.
I just because it came up as hidden because of the word fuck. So I had to show it.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Hey, Dakota, how are you?
And yeah.
Hey, there he is.
So who's abandoned and forgotten whales?
Oh, hey, abandoned and forgotten. More
Hi there.
urban exploration from the UK.
Terry. Hi, Terry.
Terry, how are you, buddy? Good to see
I
you.
mean, some people have heard me but never seen me. You know, I'm very camera shy. I don't know
Why?
if
You
know
don't seem
that.
very camera shy. What,
I
what-
am.
You seem very.
Yeah, it's rare.
Look at. Do I seem camera shy to you?
No, I am.
Well,
You can ask Dakota. I barely ever get in front of the camera. I modeled for years, right? And I just, whatever, getting in front of cameras. I think I got sick of it.
oh, you got sick of it. So is that your excuse? Come on.
No, I don't know what it was. Something hit me and I went, unless you're paying me to sit in front of a camera.
I was
leave
gonna
me
say,
alone.
okay.
You sit for hours in these
Right
fucked
now,
up
we're
houses.
we're interviewing Xena Haggerty for her latest cover foray into. I don't know any. I don't know any fashion magazines. I'm
No,
sorry.
well,
Isn't
neither
it?
do I.
Isn't it Spirit 101?
Spirit 101. Spirit 101.
Some ghostly magazine.
That's
Yeah.
That's ghostly. Yeah. Oh wait, Spirit 420.
Oh, ghostly clothing.
Ghostly 420.
Finally got my smoking jacket. What do you think? Do you like it? Is it lovely?
Yeah, that looks very, very. It looks like Asian sort of.
Yeah, it is fully.
yeah.
Yeah. It also goes inside out.
It looks like an opium jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Opium jacket.
Yeah,
I'm just-
you understand. It's just not long enough for that. I think.
Oh, it's just not long enough for that. Okay.
So it's only a smoking jacket. I'm making that shit up, just so you know.
So there's some vents and some fans and stuff like that. There's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't.
Well,
think
I
I've
can
ever-
just go. Here, watch. It takes 4 seconds, and then I have a new jacket on. There we go.
Now it looks like an opium jacket.
folks.
This is the opium side.
Yeah.
Folks, please welcome Miss Haggard, Miss Xena Haggerty to the show.
Change your rude jacket. Change your rude jacket. There we go.
I have a pair of
That's
underwear
all
I
I
can do that
do.
with.
That's all I do. Do you? Are
So
you sure?
do you do it? So do you do it at work? Wait a sec, guys. I
Are
gotta
you
go to the
sure?
washroom.
Oh, okay. Oh, to change his underwear.
He's got gold boxes.
Well, hold on. I know to change it when it changes color.
Oh, it's a mood detector, right?
It is a mood. It's a mood detector.
I'm getting that Alex.
Hey,
He's
Kevin, how
definitely
are you?
over the edge on certain things. It seems
Always.
like,
No, I know.
That's me.
That's Alex. I mean,
That's
there's
me.
No way. There's no way to put it.
Always.
Alex.
Oh dear.
Oh, Terry, too much info, eh?
Oh, man. Terry. I
No,
agree,
too much info will be telling Terry that changeable underwear is a thong.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
Terry. I'm
Now that's
sorry,
too much info.
No, now I want to start talking, as a veteran. There's a class that they give that is got to be the funniest and craziest class, but it also supposedly saves your life. And it's has to do with your
Smoking jackets.
yeah. Opium jackets.
Opium jackets, yeah.
Has to do with your cleanliness in
Cleanliness.
the field. In
Okay.
the field, yeah.
You don't want to attract any animals.
Well, you also, dirty clothing can start chafing your bodies.
Yep.
Sorry.
They don't
that underwear thing just
I think I need.
They don't. Hey, listen. They don't call it
Good
commando
idea,
for
Steve.
nothing.
they don't. No. Yeah, just take the dang things off.
Yeah.
Hang them up on a thing. It's a white.
That's when you're
flag.
ready. That's when you're ready to give up.
Yes. White
Yeah, I thought
flag.
it was white.
It's not very white.
I'm waiting for Alex to pull out his white boxers. I give up.
The white boxers that he's been turning in and out.
Oh, isn't that scary? White boxers.
No.
No,
Talking
it's
about
not
the-
scary.
You're talking about the
It
old
is.
banana hammocks?
No, my mind is like totally fried now.
Oh, your mind is fried.
Yeah, Alex is like this, this in the side of the brain. And you can't actually move out of the way because you just aren't certain when they're going to come through.
Yeah, I like to keep people on their toes.
Yeah, it's working. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you gotta love it. So, okay. So, has there been any weird stuff happening within your life? Like anything weird that you'd say, Steve,
I
I don't understand, but I had this really weird incident that happened, and
I'm in the middle of one
oh,
right now.
really?
Yeah. And it's got a few layers to it. I mean, one of them is a conversation I'm having with a shaman in Ukraine.
A shaman in the Ukraine.
There's a few of them over there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
they're
they're
like
everywhere.
they're not well, yes, they are. But I mean, they didn't really get a chance to be that for a long time. It was
Okay.
something that I've slowly but surely encountered. Like I'm part of a group that online where they're rediscovering their culture in that way. And so they have discussions. I met this person through art, actually, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to say, Sandro and everyone else in Odessa, my prayers go out to you. And may you stay safe. You know, they are so far, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, it starts with that, but that's a broader spectrum. There's a book he's working on, and he's asked me to join. There's stuff that I think he's gonna, not just me, but a few other people who've been through some very particular things. And the actual particular thing on the journey that he asked me to include in the book he's working on is very strange, because just after he brought it up, I was sitting down, like there's some things that have happened that I can't speak about right now, but
Yeah.
I'm in a very different position. And I was sitting down with Dakota, and she was reading a post to me. It says, oh, such and such says there's a property somewhere. And that particular property is exactly where I was supposed to go. And Steve left. So he can he hear us, or?
No, he just does. He had to get something, so
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but he can hear me then. That's
maybe. I don't know if he took off his headphones or not.
Well, the mic's off. Anyway, so I really want to say the names of these places, so I think I'm just gonna do it. Okay.
If you feel comfortable doing it, then by all means, but you don't have
I
to.
would do this. Like, put it this way: there's a location that a property was for sale on. It's somewhere in North America,
Okay.
and this place is somewhere that I had years and it's the same story that I had talked to the shaman about. And in my visions I had, because I said he's asking me about visions I had, this shaman, and he wanted to add certain ones in a book just to prompt people who've had the same vision. That's really what his book is about. And so literally within about 12 hours of me mentioning it to him, this property comes up. This property is in the place exactly in my vision that I was supposed to go to. And in my vision, I was told, you can't go there right now. The only way to get there is to go north. And I'm like, you can't go, let's just say Mexico. It's not, but you can't go to Mexico by going north.
Yeah.
Right? And they said, and it was these people dressed up in police uniforms. They said, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just go north. So that story, because I mean, that story had its own thing. And the story I have in the book, but it includes this place. Is
it mentioned in the book?
It will be.
Okay.
This is the thing, is that I had told him the story. He goes, I want to include that one, right? Because it's got other parts to it. But now I'm walking right into that. There's a property there, and it's going to be mine, and it's in the place exactly that had happened in my vision. That earlier on in life, I was told, you can't go there, but you need to. But to get there, like to get there right now, you have to go straight north, which was Tobamori area.
Okay.
And just below Manitoulin Island. And
So
so that, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. I go, Did you get this property?
I'm going to own it very soon.
Okay, there you go.
That's the weird thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just like, whoa. And even it's just so that is very strange. I mean, sure, people get properties, people do things.
Mhm.
But the very fact that when I heard the name at first, I didn't realize where it was. I just said, yeah, yes, tropical, right? And as it turns out, it's exactly the area from the dream. So it's just that it had a different name. Like
So in the dream, you had a certain name, and the
It's a-
reality is a slightly different name.
same area though,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. Yeah, it's just another few hundred miles south of the same spot, but exactly the same area and on the same coastline. So it's
Okay.
just yeah. So it's just really just
That's pretty
really
intense. If you've ever and you had this vision years ago.
yes.
Yeah, there you go. See.
And
So, so I got to ask you this: these visions you have, are they when you're sleeping or when you're meditating?
it depends, right? I get them both ways.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah, like some of the dream ones are so real that you can smell, right? You can you can smell if it's
Mhm.
hot and dry, you can smell it. And
Yeah.
you can almost they're pretty intense. And also the just certain levels. I mean, they're starting to realize that there are different levels of consciousness. And we experience different things in those and understandings in different levels of consciousness. And visions for me aren't something that I'd say, oh, it's going to be your future. But when they're that intense and they act, and now they're happening, because when it happened, I had this really wild drive for a very long time to go there. But I remember being told I couldn't. So I didn't.
Well, there had to have been a reason why you couldn't go or shouldn't have gone.
I know. But do you know? I mean, to be honest with you, it's been pretty calm. And I found like in the sense of strange things, but all through the COVID times, there wasn't a lot. I mean, I had moved out of a house a couple years before COVID that had the strangest, I had a horrible experience in that I should have called Steve to come in and check it. I had somebody else check the location I was in, and they told me what they saw, and I went, yeah, that's what I'm seeing, because I didn't tell them before they checked, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this room, I like you to go in all the rooms upstairs, right? So the person went through and then came back and told me the story, which was that some woman had been looking out the window in the neighborhood and saw a bloody murder across the road. And then the people who'd done the murder looked at her. And so,
Okay.
yeah, so every time I went in that room, I would have a panic attack. And to be honest
Yeah.
with you, it really had, and I didn't know. I'm like, what? This is a beautiful little room. I mean, it's
Yeah. You're experiencing her emotions.
and yeah, I kept getting that, and I could see similar thing. I didn't want to look out the window, and so this friend of mine, I said, "You're pretty sensitive. Would you mind looking?" And he came back with the story, and I just went, "Thank you." But it would have been a spot that Steve might have. I mean, that's not to me. That's that residual one, though, right? Not even ghost. It's just like that energy's left there, right? The residual type of
Yeah.
ghost.
It sounds like it's kind of a residual, at the very least, emotions anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
powerful.
Yeah.
Scary as shit. It
Those
scares.
residual emotions are very scary.
Well, they can be, some of them, they're always intense and that's why they're there. Or is somebody who sat in that same place for years with the same thoughts, right? And feelings like,
I'm almost curious to find out if that lady in that room had something happen to her, because you said
this
she had
is
witnessed the murders and the murderers saw her.
right across the street.
Yeah. So they may have like threatened her in some way, or maybe did some.
Well, I'm going to tell you because I know the neighborhood and I didn't do the research, but I could have. There were gangs
Okay.
specifically in that area. And from the actual crime that happened, it's obvious that's what it was. So when they looked at her, she fucking knew who they were. They damn well knew who she was. Yeah, I don't know what happened to her. I'm living in a place where 2 women died in my apartment right now. There's really nothing here, Bit of laughter here and
You're
there.
you're not picking it. You haven't picked up anything, nothing residual or anything, or
Yeah, a little bit here, but
oh yeah.
yeah, nothing. But I was
Then
just telling Alex about a really intense one that I had before, because I moved into a place a couple of years before COVID hit,
uh-huh.
and the place I was in before that was crazy, and I should have called you. Like, it's actually,
Who
you
you gonna
know,
call?
when
Ghostbusters.
yeah, when we were doing the show, Alex,
Mhm.
to be honest with you, that's where I'd moved, and that's where I was getting sick. I got
Okay.
sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker in that house.
And it
So
was because of
bad.
that. Yeah.
I don't know, but that didn't help,
Well,
right?
exactly. It didn't. It doesn't help.
Yeah. Yeah. So I should have had Steve and you guys come with your gear and check it out.
Well, you don't want Alex. He'd scare them off.
Well, no, actually, she'd want that.
Thank you. I've said that earlier. I'm
Yeah.
totally into that. I know
Uh,
other people aren't the same as me that way. Like, oh, I like my ghostlies. Yeah, okay.
I was going over the article from a place that we did years ago called the Winking Judge. Remember that place? Remember the Winking Judge?
Yeah, sure. My ex sergeant major was one of the owners.
Your ex sergeant major.
Yeah, I'm a veteran, right?
Yeah. No, I really.
Yeah.
Was this before or after we investigated?
Yeah, he was still an owner. He was still an owner then.
Really?
Yeah, I just hadn't seen him in a while. He just did certain afternoons. He worked in the place in the afternoons on certain days. I think it was the day, yeah, I can't remember, but he's not a young guy. So, yeah.
Well, I found that place very interesting, and but the thing is, I didn't find that we had the time or an opportunity to investigate it properly.
Yeah, you needed me not there with my ex-husband, and I felt that way.
Are you
Uh,
are you talking about the demons?
I didn't
The-
notice any demons in there. There were certain
I think your ex was it your ex boyfriend or ex
husband.
husband.
I doubt he'd ever mention demons. You could look, but I doubt it. But there was some intriguing energies in there. I don't know what they were. I agree. I think you would really need probably a like you do at other places.
Uh-huh.
Go set up, do it over a couple years, or s- like you want to take 2 weeks of time and pull it. But there's a lot going on there. I don't know. You concluded that there was something there, and what? Yeah.
Yeah, something subtle. Hey Tim, how are you? Thanks for joining us, man. Um, something subtle. Um, nothing major, really.
Hi,
Anything
Tim. Sorry.
that's absolutely fine.
Nothing
Yeah.
major there?
No, I don't think we captured anything. You know,
No, that didn't. Yeah, exactly.
but like I said, and I had a question from somebody asking me, uh, questioning why do we go into this Spruce Lane farmhouse so many times? Do you really need to go in there so many times? And I answered the question. I said, I said, if you really, really are serious about understanding if a location is haunted or not, that is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the questions that you need to ask. To truly understand what the people are going through that live there on a daily basis,
Yeah.
you just don't go in there once and say, "Oh yeah, you got ghosts here, you got demons here, or whatever."
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how many times I've heard that. Oh yeah, you need to have your house cleansed
Oh,
because
wow.
you got
I
demonic energy going on
Yeah,
here.
I can't watch the shows generally because of that. They go in there and
But
yeah, and
it's not just shows though. I mean, there's actually people saying this shit.
like they go and they like if I asked you to
Scare they
come,
literally fucking scare the shit out of the homeowner. you seriously have to take into consideration the people that you're dealing with.
Thank
Look
you.
at the question I ask to somebody who approaches me and asks me if we can conduct an investigation. I'll say, are you sure you want us to come in there? Because um we could stir something up,
Yeah.
something that's not present.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the case, but we can also tell you that like I mean there's lots of questions that you need to ask, and you need to be responsible. But the
Oh,
main
first
thing
and
here,
foremost, to have some
yeah.
responsibility. So there's nothing you can really tell anyone after going in for a few hours. And I mean, really, I've discovered something because I mentioned to you, I said, if you want me to check out a location, let me sleep there. And I discovered that a bunch of people out there agree they have the same thing, right? For me, if I'm sleeping and the activity's going on, it's gonna I'm the first person that gets freaking pestered.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. And I prefer not to sleep in places like that, right? Like I do. I've lived in places that was constant. And they weren't as draining as that place, Alex. I've lived in places with way more activity than that last one I was in. And it that last one, I'm uncertain because I would have needed you to come and check to see if it was just the hydro lines outside of the house there.
Well, I mean, if it was the hydro lines, then you definitely would have had some sort of um electromagnetic frequency disruption,
You
without a
think there'd be
doubt.
a lot more activity, a lot more
Yeah.
different activity as well.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on the strength of the frequency. If it's strong, the duration that's somebody's exposed to it. There's so many variables that you have to put in play here,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah,
And they all act differently. They all act differently. But I'll
yeah.
tell you, in like the end case is they do affect uh they do affect us on a whole.
This is the one thing I was wondering, and I'd been chatting with Alex about an experience in a particular room,
Uh-huh.
and the rest of the rooms could have been tainted or something else, but I don't know because this one room had such a terrible impact on me, and I'm just not used to that, right? Like I'm used to, if there's something there, I just like talk to it or tell it or just do a
Uh-huh.
clearing,
Yeah.
and they go and something that's
Now, when you say
residual
clearing,
can.
okay, when you say clearing,
Yeah,
what,
it's
what do you
not.
mean? What is your version of a clearing?
Well, I was trained that you go into a trance-like state.
Okay.
You find that brightest point of enthusiasm and joy in yourself and
Hmm.
sing through it.
Okay.
And you go through your entire home from top, every corner, every part of it, top to bottom, all the closets, and really that kind of energy just kind of makes things kind of shift out of your space.
Well, it's a positive energy. It's
Yeah.
a positive energy, and people when they say clearing, there's so many different variables. There's so many different variations on a clearing.
Ran
But
into a
that,
lot of
but
weird things.
but
Yeah.
but that, but what you're saying there, I don't know if I'd call that a clearing. More, I,
There's more to it. There
the
are other
yeah,
levels. It
yeah.
depends on where I am, right?
But that's
Most homes,
that's
that's all you
the
need.
fact is you're conjuring up some positive energy, right?
Yeah, it does
I mean
shift.
that's the important thing here.
Yeah, well, it's done with the homeowner, and they're brought in to do that themselves. And I can tell you right now, if you have someone like myself or somebody can do that, show you through the process, you'll discover that you can do it your own way,
Uh-huh.
the same thing, and it really just kind of makes your house m- like people come to my home and they say, "Oh, I felt really this." They feel very different when they're in my home, and it has to do with that. It has to do with just keeping up a little bit of
I love it. For a mere 1999, Alex can clear your house.
I didn't even see that one.
I would, you know, I'm
I
just
had-
imagining Alex doing it.
Terry, I love it.
I think you would do a great job because I imagine in
What,
my
clearing your
mind.
house out? Alex is perfect
No.
for it.
No, I imagine that Alex, if he's going to do a task, he does it well. So
He's not half-assed. He's full in.
that's my conclusion on Alex, right?
So
Like,
Well,
that's
he,
why so
he doesn't
good.
I have to
have.
put that theory to the test.
He doesn't do half a burrito. He does a whole burrito.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't do a half spear in the forehead. He
So
just puts the whole thing right
you
in.
can entice him with a half burrito. If you go, hey Alex, I'll give you a small burrito, he'll laugh at you and go, fuck
Yeah.
you. I'll do it for a
Whole
large
thing.
burrito, and that's
Yes.
all.
Exactly.
Hey Mimi, how are you?
All right, folks. I'm gonna get going. I'm getting
All
tired.
right,
I gotta
Alex,
wake
take
up
care,
early.
buddy.
Zena, it's been nice talking to you.
Great pleasure seeing you again and chatting.
Yeah,
Alex.
we'll do it again soon someday.
That'd be
Take
lovely.
care, buddy.
Okay, take care.
Take care.
Bye.
But yeah, it's
So good to see him. Yes, he doesn't do it half-assed.
no, Alex is
Oh,
not.
he's going to
half-assed.
do a clearing. There's a lot more to the clearing, but that's the general thing. And
Yeah.
I say anyone who wants to do it, I highly suggest that you find an incense that you appreciate to do it with. I use Wiccan incenses. It's my background in
Okay,
certain
so
ways.
Wiccan incense. Okay, so what? Explain that.
Well, if you wanted to get them, you can make them yourself, right?
Yeah.
You can buy, you can
Sure.
find a recipe to make certain they take quite a while, and you can have them so you put them, so you burn them on what is a puck, like a charcoal. Have you seen those quick lighting charcoals?
Yep.
You could do that, or you can get incense sticks and purchase oils and put together a blend of the oils and put your incense sticks in it, make your own, right? And
Okay.
you can find recipes online to make the one you want, because you can find incenses that I'm going to tell you that for me, it's a matter of finding an incense that is memorable. It doesn't have to say a clearing incense on
Well,
it.
let me ask you, what works?
me.
What works best for Xena? What's the best thing that works for you?
Can I tell you that sadly,
Yeah.
the man who made them for me for almost like over 40 years died.
Oh.
So I'm stuck with no one making them for me right now.
Oh, and
So
then, that's
I'm on the
hard to
search.
replace something like that. Yeah.
Almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're on the search to find somebody like that. That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and,
okay, well,
and losing him, of course, as well, right? 'Cause
well,
he's
obviously, yeah.
very, very important center of the community here for a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
And it's gone.
So, okay, picture him still around.
Oh, you want to know?
What is the best? What was the best sort
For me,
of? Yeah.
I actually stuck with one he made that was wisteria. His wisteria incense was my favorite to use.
And explain that. I don't. Hey,
The
hey,
plant-
Trevor, how are you?
The plant wisteria, you know that.
Oh,
gourd,
okay. Yeah, the
it
plant.
kinda
Okay.
creeps up. It really looks
It's
beautiful on your
creepy,
home.
It's creepy. You don't make tea out of it, right? It's just creepy.
Creeping and creepy.
It's creeping or creepy.
Creeping.
It's creeping. Okay.
Oh,
Creeping death.
they use it over in Great Britain. I've seen it. I've seen people make fences or those.
They make fences out of it.
Well, there's a name for it, and I'm sorry I can't think of it. But they use bushes to make fences or things that can grow with creeping, and you just they turn them in on themselves. Hedgerow.
So in other words, if they want to
called-
keep people out, they'll just make a fence out of this shit.
hedgerows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly to keep.
I don't
cars.
want you in my yard.
Mostly
You
to
come
keep
in my
cars.
yard.
I'm
You're
told when you
cursed.
drive on those British roads, those really small ones, you go up on the edge and you can actually, that's where the hedgerows are. There's all
The hedgerows.
that's what they're
The
called. yeah.
hedgerows.
Hedgerows.
The hedgerows. Hedgerows. I like that word. Hedgerows.
Isn't it great? That's what they're called. Yeah. And
I love that word.
they use plants, and there's people who work with them and build these fences. Yeah.
So they sculpt them.
Yes. Yeah,
They
isn't that
they
amazing?
sculpt these hedgerows.
Yeah, hedgerows.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, head
I'm just-
brows. Hedge brows.
So you saying my brows need to be hedged?
Yes. With a clip though.
Oh, wait a sec. I gotta
Oh,
clip my
just
hedges here.
yeah. I don't have enough there to clip, so I don't have to
Willow. Cool Tool says willow.
Willow.
Are they
Yeah.
willow hedges?
I don't know. Do they? Depends on the willow tree or bush, right? Because willows, they obviously make all kinds of things out of willow. Willow's awesome. That's definitely a witchcraft.
I love weeping willows.
Yeah. Well, the willow branches are. Did you have any more information on that? Cool Tools, because I do know they make all kinds of furniture, and I'm just wondering if there's like a shorter bush tree
I'm sure
that you can make
cool.
hedgerows
Look,
out of.
half cut and bend.
Yeah, yeah. That's how they
Is that
used.
is half cut and bend?
Yeah.
Is that like a technique or something? Half cut and bend?
Yes.
Are we going back to I need to
Hedgerows. Yes.
half cut my hedges here.
Yeah.
Bend them a little.
Apparently, they're pretty tough. Those things, right? And they're more effective than most fences, right? Because they keep growing. You got to clip them rather
So
than
they keep
having to.
people out. The main thing is to keep people out. Is that what it is?
And animals in doesn't matter. They
Animals in or
Yeah.
animals out?
either. I'm sure the
Either?
small animals could easily get under it.
Like, I went for a walk. Who has hijacked us? I don't know, Trevor. Why don't you come in and find out? Trevor, join us, and we'll let you know.
Oh,
who hijacked us.
Trevor's like, that's not Alex.
I love Trevor. Trevor's a great guy. Trevor's awesome.
That's definitely
Um,
not Alex there.
No,
That's what. Yeah.
no. So, where was it going? Oh yeah. So, I was going for a walk. Went for a walk the other day. And I walked by this yard that had, thorn bushes along, like growing,
Into the
sprawling,
sidewalk.
not into the sidewalk, but on the fence. And I'm like looking at the thorns and going, wow, it's only a matter of time before somebody goes, I'm going to sue them for cutting my arm open. Seriously, it
No,
was like,
I totally get you.
I'm like, wow.
I have issues with spiky plants. Like I like to stay away from them.
I love thorn bushes. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, same here. But I
there's a
don't.
place for them. But when you put them right to the sidewalk when somebody's walking by,
We had trees on my road when I was growing up that had I'm not going to name them because I always get them wrong. There were two different types of trees on that road, and
Yeah.
one of them had spikes that would grow out this far, and they would actually grow out in clumps onto the side of the sidewalk, and you had to be really careful because it was like they grow overnight, I swear. And you go ride by on your bike or go running by, and it would scrape the crap out of your leg. Like, so I get what you're saying. That oh, man, I try to avoid bushes with spikes on them and trees with spikes on them. Frankly, I loved climbing trees when I was a kid. Never went near those things. If I went near them, it was with clippers.
I think they're I think everyone's afraid to join us. What is it? What does it take to get people to join us? I don't know.
Let's see. Well, maybe they need to have the gear. Maybe they're not sure they have a
Oh, they got the gear.
mic. Oh, awesome. Come join us. Come on, pick one and we'll get them to talk about something specific. We've obviously I'm here because I have a little bit of background in paranormal.
A little bit. Come on. You've got honestly, I think you have a very extensive background. You do. You do.
I wish I did.
No, you do. You're well versed in it. You are.
Yeah. I know.
No, you are, Zena. You're
well
well.
that's why I love the work you do, because you really, really pay attention to details when it comes to.
I try to.
Well, I get you. There's always a point where you go, oh, that's too much. I do that. It's like, I'm gonna have to look at that next week or next month, right?
I mean, like it's like taking a trip to. I look at places like Waverly Hills Sanitarium in Louisville, Kentucky, and having four security cameras going at you know, 4 hours or whatever, and you get home and you're like, oh fuck, I gotta go through 4 cameras, 4 hours each. Oh my god.
You have to
That's
watch it.
insane.
You can't
Yeah.
just like lazily look out the
Yeah.
window.
But
Holy
let
shit.
me
Yeah.
tell you though, when you watch it and there's something there and it's so rewarding.
I know. And you have some really neat stuff from there, for example. And there's that one audio file. There's a couple audio files you have that are absolutely amazing. I don't know how extensive your files are on things you've encountered, but the stuff I've heard is just amazing.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna play something for you. I don't know if I've ever played this for you, but I want your thoughts. Okay, hold on. I just gotta find it. Where are we? I'll find it. Okay, I want your thoughts on this, and here we go.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna obviously have questions, or that's more of it. Okay, so
there you go.
that's obviously indoors.
Indoors, yes.
Obviously, yeah. So there's I don't know, you've obviously done a little bit of raising it up so you can hear. And how many people were in the room
Okay,
when you're
so I'll give you a scenario. Okay, so
Okay.
this was extracted from a video camera from the video documentation of the location, which I always have done before we go and investigate. Okay, so you hear people downstairs in the front. But as he centers in on this portrait of this little girl,
Oh my God, you
you
played this
hear
for
something
me.
that's right there with him.
Can I hear that again? Because
Absolutely,
that song is different than it sounds different to me.
absolutely.
Okay.
I'll play it for you again.
Thank you.
I'll play it for everyone. Obviously, everyone's. Here you go.
It is just incredible, that piece. Because the sound sounds like it is moving the air, right? As sound does. That's the part that freaks me out about hearing EVPs, right? Because we're talking, I mean, I had my mother call me, and I think you've heard the story, but it's a long time ago, but I had my mother call me and leave a message for me on the phone after death. And I've had a couple other calls, but that
After
was
she passed away.
yes.
Okay.
Quite a while after.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. Yes.
I had a message. It was on the actual machine, which I didn't keep it. Stupid, right? But she said, "It's okay, dear. I know where you are." And I just didn't want to move. I had this weird idea that my mom couldn't find me. So she made, but that's moving electronically. Like there's a way where it's easier. So are they dealing? That doesn't sound like they're dealing with whatever it is. It's actually dealing in the same way. Like I think there's a worthwhile research in just how the impact. I mean, they can't tell you that, oh, the actual equipment was shifted, right? And not the sound, because there's
Mm.
no air moving. Sound is about air moving. It's about a vibration, right? And
Yeah.
and then of course there's that electromagnetic thing, as you know, ghosts can
Well,
they move in those things. I think I told you, I found out that spiders move on flying. They don't just do it on
flying.
air. It's on
Yeah.
electromagnetic fields.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, and because there's ghosts and there's residual, as you know. But that one is shocking because it's like it's connected to that art piece, perhaps.
Well, that's what I was centering on. That was my thought. Trevor was asking, is that a doll of a painting? The painting is a reprint of something called Cherry. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank here.
It's okay. You're just
Ch-
getting well, so it's
Cherry Ripe. Cherry Ripe. Sorry, it's an old English song of the same name, Cherry Ripe. And I thought, for crying out loud, that this girl, or the singing or the reciting of a nursery rhyme or something that was going on in that audio that you heard, had something to do with the painting. But I listened to the Cherry Ripe song, the back from the 1800s, whatever.
wow.
And nothing, it absolutely has no sort of nothing to do with it at all.
Melody wise,
Nothing.
That-
Nothing. So I'm like,
Drew,
wow.
yeah, okay. Are
This
you
is
sure?
drawing. And let me tell you, Zena, that stayed in the vaults for like 10 years before I discovered it.
I know that was oh my God. That is a really haunting piece. You have it at a position there so you can hear the song a little more clearly. But when you first played it for me, it was kind of just raw, off the camera. And you could even there, when you're listening, you can hear the creak of the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So someone's walking on the stairs.
Well, you've got who was there, Mike, who had a hold of the camera. He was going through documenting the house for me, and he was fascinated, because I asked him, I go, why did you stop? Why did you stop
on
sort
that
of
picture.
on
Yeah.
that picture? Because
Yeah.
it just fascinated me. And if anybody knows anything about Mike, he's a painter. He's a traditional painter. He's an oil painter. He's a traditional painter, and that painting intrigued him, and he just had to get it. And just as he's sort of centering on that, all of a sudden you got this singing going on. It's like, what
Yeah.
the hell is going on?
And 10 years before you
10
we're
years.
talking about the whole thing
10 years.
going through the footage, right? You probably went through it and you just went, yeah. Well, it was
Yeah,
so subtle.
I went through that footage,
There's
10 years ago.
the footage doesn't even matter, right? Because it's just a setup, right? So you can't
Well,
even use it.
not a lot of people consider you're watching video. You're not going to get EVPs or anything on them. You will, though, but I mean,
Well, of
most
course,
people don't
yeah.
pay that.
Well, he didn't hear it. Yeah, of course, it's a recording device, so it's
And then
audio and-
here I am putting a documentary together 10 years later on the Spruce Lake farmhouse, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, wait a second here.
yeah.
I just heard something.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And I had to replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it. I'm like, wow, I was blown away.
Yeah.
It still gives me
to this
shivers.
day, yeah, I got chills. Like
It still gives me chills.
as soon as I heard that creak, I'm like, wait, this is this is. I was wondering though. I'm going to say something that I may not have mentioned before.
Yeah.
You're saying that you looked up the pieces, the song,
Yeah.
and did you find recordings of it?
With the song Cherry Ripe, yes.
Okay. I mean, it may have been a different song that we're doing there, but I'm gonna tell you something about songs that most people don't think about. Um, and part of the reason I know a little bit more about certain things in music is because I've been doing it since I
Yeah.
was about 8 years old. I've been playing, and I can tell you something that every time somebody I worked with, like if I was playing in an orchestra or playing to learn songs, there's a
Yeah.
story that comes with every song, just so you know. Now, there's multiple levels to the story. Who may have written it, whether it's unknown, right? Because often most of the stuff is unknown. Um, and a whole bunch of it is known, but
Yeah.
who knows if they lifted it, right? That's a whole thing. But and then there's this whole other level of this song has been transcribed and actually arranged in this manner, right? So I've heard songs or sat down to a piece of music, right, that I know is I know the tune, and I go to play the piece, right? And I'm playing the piece and I realize that, oh, that tune's very different. I should have noticed when I looked at it. It's very different than the one I'm aware of. So there's like this whole level of even if the song that you saw, right,
Yeah.
or heard may have been arranged and set up totally different, and it may not even sound the same.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying that I'm only throwing that to you because I know you love to do every bitter end of research, and I know it's possible to do that, and I'm not certain the approach it at the moment, but I know that you can get stuff online and research, and you might need a musician to say who can do sight reading and say that's whatever. They may even change the name of a
Well,
song,
yeah,
right?
I'll use an audio engineer or whatever, and all sorts of people to sort of better understand it. Mimi states or says even scientists can't debunk EVPs. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. That's why EVPs are some of the best or most validated evidence.
Well, that piece you have there is a really good example of, and I think you have more. I know that
Yeah, and
I heard
again,
kids.
people have to understand too with EVPs. I mean, that doesn't mean that everything that you capture is an EVP. I mean, you have to scrutinize.
Well, I've never seen people actually ask an entity to hum a tune, and I realize that's something you should look into because
Well,
that, like, or to just give me a tune to a song,
I
right?
I think some of the most
I've never seen that done, but I can imagine that you get a lot more information about, because half the time you can't hear what they're saying.
yeah. Well, I've never been one for it. They have a grading system on EVPs, and I can't stand it. I think it's so archaic. Class A, class B, class C, whatever.
Okay.
And judging on the clarity of the EVP itself, can you make out what the EVP is saying? Oh, it's class A. You know, to me,
Interesting. Because you
to
still might
me,
be guessing.
in my experience, with working with this for years, um, to me, Class A, if anything, is a EVP that is responding to something that you're asking.
Yeah. Okay, that's an example. But and then of course, are they factoring in the type of isolation and situation that you've set up
Well,
as
that
well?
too. I mean, you gotta look at are you in a Faraday cage, for instance? Are you controlling the environment where you're taking these audio samples from? I mean, a Faraday cage will basically filter out any outside interference, cell phone, radio waves, all sorts of stuff that people will say, well, no, that's a stray cell phone call or whatever. Faraday cages are highly recommended when you're doing EVP sessions,
Yeah. Yeah. So
if you can.
there's ways of doing them on a smaller scale is there? I thought I saw that I'm not certain.
What do
um
you mean?
for the actual recording device rather than the entire room. Or
Yeah.
that's
Oh
what,
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
I get a little confused on those things. Yeah. But I know that okay. Well, that's really interesting because there's so much information that you're dealing with when you're doing any of the things you're doing,
Yeah.
and you have to really have, as you do, you say this is what's going on in this room, the temperature, all those things, right? In the sense of what time of day, what time of what the atmosphere outside was like, and because there are weird things like people sometimes just each of us get a little freaked by the darkness at times, and you could
Yeah.
like walk in somewhere and all of a sudden all the noises are all of a sudden something, and some of them might even sound very very clear because I know um I'm just going to say in the sense of there is certain energies there, uh the and I'm not saying some of the most malevolent ones because I don't know about those. I've only encountered one personally, no, two
Yeah.
malevolent ones, yeah. Anyway, but
Those damn malevolent ones.
yeah, and generally, I don't even want to talk about those, but I'll just talk about the general ones. It's a matter of if you're fearful, it's almost like, to me, you energize it.
Yeah.
Right? You energize it for yourself because now you're frightened and things like kind of flip you out. And traditionally, ancient tradition, like Agrippa, if you want to find out about spirits, Agrippa speaks about them in his quite old book there, occult philosophy book that he wrote. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
Yeah, it's worth reading because it goes through how all the different levels of our consciousness and the physical, because there's spiritual renderings of energies for every type of object, just about. So
Hmm.
it goes through that kind of thing. But when you're dealing through general spirit, not being fearful helps. Actually, just getting pissed off and telling them like loudly to f off and make a lot of noise is one of the.
Well, a lot of times when people and this is I guess a technique that most people use if they're having like a poltergeist in their home, like a loud sort of interactive sort of ghost, if you will.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
They will
what
they
I'm
will say,
talking about
"Get
isn't
out of
that.
my house! This is my house. Get the
Oh,
fuck out
really?
of my house
Okay.
now!" Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, really? It's the same thing with them.
yeah,
Okay. Well, maybe he has that in there. I don't know the inclusion level, but he's saying your general spirits,
yeah.
right? And he writes
Okay,
because he goes further and further and further
yeah.
into it's quite an old book. It's you can get translations of it. It's worth having to study. It's really intense. I'll tell you this. I've never finished reading it. But it's great for learning and understanding different levels. So yeah, it's so good to join you here. It's been forever.
It's been a
Um
while. It has been a long time.
yeah, I feel close to you and Alex, and I miss you
Well,
both.
I mean, you were part of the show for a while.
Yeah, I was very blessed
You
to
know,
have that
you
opportunity.
you were part of the show, and we absolutely cherish the time that you were with us.
Thank you.
You know, you
It's the
you
same for
added
me.
you added an essence to the show that obviously was absent, and people enjoyed it. So I mean, we absolutely loved it when you were with us.
Well, you're looking at doing a live show. Do you want me to join you that evening, or do we want to
We
get
You
other
know
guests as
what? If
well?
we do a live show at the staircase, absolutely, Zena.
Wonderful. That'd be so fun. It really would.
Absolutely. We would love to have you a part of us. You
That
know
that,
that.
I'm glad you asked about that because that really. The one part that I loved is that when we were doing the show, we didn't have this visual here, and having spent time with you and Alex, and the sense of adventure and understanding you learn and play with things and whatnot, and being there physically when we did them live was so much more clear for me. There were
Yeah.
times where I'm just, just hearing the voice, I can hear it, but I can't see that smile on your face, and the
Well,
nod going on,
this sort of visual that we have now. I mean, this is something that I think we started with the YouTube channel about a year and a half ago. And we said, okay, well, we need to open the show up to a whole new sort of audience.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our dedicated audience on New Visions, but the thing is, we never really see them. We never really hear from them.
Yeah.
The numbers are there. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is, those are just numbers. Here on YouTube, what we've noticed here is we have people who, like Terry, for instance.
Yeah, Terry.
Terry's
I
been
wonder if
listening
Terry's
to
still there now. Forever.
he's
Yeah.
been listening to the show forever.
I knew him as an audience, right? Because I listened to the show as well. And that's where
so
we do
he's
chat
like,
together.
when are you guys doing YouTube? You have chat and everything else. And we're like, I don't know. We'll eventually get to it, I guess. But we've had a lot of people here on YouTube that tune into the show, that watch the show, that are part of the show. And this is why we do these
Yeah, because
open
someone
mic.
could join in, like right now, as you're saying.
This is what we love. We love to do the whole interaction with people who, and they're bashful tonight. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Well, someone was wondering who had appeared here, but mostly you told them. Hi, I'm Sina.
Sorry?
I said, I just was mumbling that some of them were like, oh, who's this person here? Yeah. And of course, with Alex gone, it's even a little odder, right? Because I mean, just so you know, folks, I have had, thankfully, Steve on my podcast, and I twice so far, and I know I'm having another one soon. That's a really pointed question. I don't want to talk about it here, but I'm asking two people who have spent their entire lives in the paranormal a few questions about UFOs.
UFOs.
They have a new name for it. I'm not going to use it. I don't care.
Oh, UFLs? UFLs or whatever the hell?
No.
UFLs.
I can't
I know.
remember. I can't remember. I don't care, but it is
I I don't care either. Exactly.
Okay, good. I will
I'm a
probably have
UFO
it.
guy. Zena, I'm a UFO guy.
Well, I don't think you or I really all three, because it's Cameron, Logan, Steve, Genet, and myself are going to discuss a very particular topic on my show. I do regular shows and interview people, but what we're doing is a topic oriented show, which I call Tea Time. So we get to really play as well. That's like, but I do really have some questions I'd like to
We
hear.
really get to have tea?
Yes, please. Wow. I might have some whiskey in my tea.
Ooh, whiskey.
So yeah,
Cameron's a great guy. I like Cameron.
Yeah. I
I
can't
really do.
remember how I found him.
Cameron's a great guy. I
We
just
found each other a few years ago, and then met you somehow. Went off to
through
done
you,
some shows.
right?
Yeah.
I think I asked him to come on our show afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's very, very wonderful, bright, unique, and a little playful as well.
Oh yeah, he's an interesting. He's like me, I think. He's very. When you think things are normal, they're not normal.
They're not, no.
When you think something is strange is coming for you, it will come for you.
Yeah.
Kind of guy.
Well, there's a truth to that. I just, I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. Yeah.
If you're going to witness a UFO, it's not going to happen to you.
It's going to happen to someone else. Yeah.
Somebody else.
So you got to talk to them. So he has also a podcast.
My Alien Life.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
Alien Life. Yes.
It was so
And
funny because My Heart Remembers is the name of my show. And he teases me and says that I want your show. I don't know if he's
well,
serious or he's teasing. Is I want your show. Yeah.
he was we were doing a full out UFO show, and I had my a good friend from the UK, Ben Amlin Jones, on. A super nice guy and educated in the UFO sort of, especially in the UK.
Yeah.
He has written a few books on Roswell, some fictional books, really cool.
Yeah.
And he was gone. My other good friend, Fred Anderson, who is based in Sweden,
I
who's,
recall that name. Yeah. The other one I didn't know,
yeah,
but yeah, that one definitely. Yeah.
Fred, who has been on this show several times. And then we were gonna have Cameron on from the US, and because obviously Cameron is well versed in the UFO sort of
Yeah.
scenario.
Definitely.
But unfortunately, when Cameron was on, he had his wife was having issues, and he had to go and stuff, and it kind of sucked because um that
Because
show
you were
turned.
waiting for the two of them to get,
Well, I
talk about
mean,
it, right?
Cameron was on for a little bit, and then he had to take off. But it was
So
really too
something
bad
happened
because,
at his home.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately. But it turned out to be a great show because I mean, Ben and Fred are both like, wow. You know what, Zena, you'd love to have Fred on your show.
I am always looking for guests.
Fred
Um,
is a dear friend of mine. He used to write for me years ago for Cinema Nocturna. He works. He's a content producer in Sweden. So he's worked with a lot of the big TV shows there. He's an actor, all sorts, well-rounded, all sorts of shit. But the guy is phenomenal.
I
Like,
would love it. Can you hook me up?
I could hook you up.
I would really love that.
Fred
Thank you.
would love to be
Thank
on
you.
your show. Fred would
Awesome.
love to be on the show.
That's
Great,
fantastic.
great, great guy.
Okay. Well,
Great
we'll
guy.
do that. We'll do that then. And
Great guy.
I'm really happy you asked me to join you for this impromptu. You called
Well,
it something else, let's do it. Right?
it's look at we'd like to do this every once in a while because we love to sort of get everyone involved. I mean, it's one thing when you get a planned show.
Yeah.
It's another thing when you have an open show where everyone can be involved and sort of.
Yeah, people can join us from the
And
audience, right?
and most of the time they're a lot more interactive. I don't know. Tonight they're bashful. They're quiet tonight. I don't understand why, but
Well, maybe it was too last minute for them.
no, it's always last minute. This is always like on the run, sort of. Hey, let's do this. You know.
Well, I'll keep an eye on your shows, and I'll start chatting, and and then I can come on. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean,
And then encourage others, right?
if you want to come on, we're always look it. You're always welcome to come on.
Aw, thank
You
you.
know
I
that.
really,
You're a part of the Nocturnal Frequency family.
it's been a while since we've done.
It's
Well,
been a
we're always stay in
while.
touch, though. We always
Well,
have
obviously,
stayed in touch. Yeah, yeah, and
obviously, and
it's one of my favorite families.
Simon, who's in Buenos Aires.
Hi, Simon.
He's
And
always
Mimi. Social
Mimi,
dilemma.
Trevor. Hey, look it. I love Trevor. Trevor's a great guy.
I don't know if Trevor's still with us.
Trevor's a fellow Canadian who has a podcast.
Is that Social Dilemma?
No. Well, he
Oh.
has a YouTube channel. I think it's called Social Dilemma.
Okay, that's
But
the
he has a radio show that he does with another good friend of mine, Ben Emlyn Jones, called Third Rail Radio.
wow. I like that name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
check
interesting.
check
So what
check it
do
out.
they do on there? Yeah, I will.
Trevor,
I will.
Trevor, do you want to
Trevor,
pipe
throw
in?
your link in. Throw your
Trevor,
link
do you
in.
want to pipe in and let Z know what you guys talk about on Third Rail Radio?
Hey, Trevor.
I know he is. He's listening.
He says his daughter.
His
is
daughter's
there.
with him right now. That
Yeah.
normally he'd come in. There you go. See, he loves Sasquatch.
Oh, that's something that we there was a guest when I was on Nocturnal Frequency Radio that we had on that I felt
Mhm.
really sad for because
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't know if I ever told you.
No.
Hopefully he's not listening. Maybe anyway, I felt really sad for because he was working with an organization that were trying to turn it into some weird type of tourist thing.
What?
There was-
Bigfoot?
yeah. There's an organization when you started to look at the whole of it, you're like, oh,
Mhm.
this is some weird kind of cool, but
Yeah.
kind of touristy on
Yeah.
purpose, which is cool. I'm totally good with it because it's not like some groups are sitting around with guns. I'm going to shoot Sasquatch. Why? They're out there. But anyway, but he was a young guy and he'd had an experience with his father. And it could have been anything he saw, but it
Mhm.
was one of his last experiences with his father. Steve,
Mm-hmm.
this is camping. Something was in the bush. And
Yeah.
then sometime later, not long after that, his father died.
Ooh.
You don't remember that? That was a guest we had on. And I thought,
There's so many people that we've had on the show.
I
It's
know.
just incredible.
I know.
I
But I
have
felt
a
so bad
dark
for him.
shadow person experience well, Trevor, come on and tell us about it.
Yeah.
Trevor, I want to hear about it, man.
Yeah.
I know your daughter's with
It's
you,
one
but-
I'm interested in because I have my own experience with something that I don't know if it's the same at all. Because I like to I like to know a little more. Like I like to have more information before I say, oh, okay. I'm familiar with that. I'm gonna say I'm not familiar with dark shadow things, but I've certainly had experiences with other beings.
That's my question then. Have you ever so you pretty much answered it then, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. Have you ever had an experience with a shadow person?
That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't think so.
No?
No, because I've had experiences that sound really similar to what people are saying with the dark shadow thing. And my question there goes to that what I was experiencing was something that at first terrified me.
Yeah.
And as I slowly but surely, because this thing did not go away, as I slowly but surely said to myself,
Hey, Punches.
I'm going to find out what this is. Right. I literally said, I am not going to put up with this bullshit. Right. Because it's scaring me. So I started to not be frightened of it and it changed.
Join us, Dan, if you'd like to.
Yeah. Anyone. Come on.
Join
Simon.
us, Dan, if you'd like to. I had an experience with a shadow person.
Oh my goodness. Okay, cool.
A
Go
really
for it.
freaky sort of experience, if you will. Oh, look at finally sort of
Oh, good.
Ex-
Someone's joining us. Are you going to tell
Trevor,
us?
how
Are you going to tell us a story first?
we don't have a
finally.
visual of you,
Hi,
Trevor.
Trevor.
Hello.
Hey, Trevor.
Joining us. Are you going to tell
Trevor,
us?
how
Are you going to tell us a story?
we're getting a lot of feedback here.
Hi,
Right.
Trevor.
Okay, hold on. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, I turned off the YouTube there.
That was a great little piece you played there. All kinds of
come,
reverb.
Now see, yeah, okay. Oh, start kit.
There he is.
Now, I gotta watch what I push here because last time I came on here, everything seemed to mess up. Remember? we're looking at some kind of-
Trevor, you're the best, man. I love you. There you are. Well, there's a
Hi,
picture
Trevor.
of you.
Yeah, that's kind of. Is
Oh,
that what you're
God.
wearing right now? I need a hat.
Uh,
Then.
well, I'm not.
I'm a
Yeah.
little underdressed without a hat.
No, I
We'll
have my-
coach you better than we'll coach you better than the shadows. Come on, shadow man, Trevor.
Come on.
Yeah.
There you
Coke,
I don't know.
Cokes. The word is Cokes.
You guys are like add a link to the third rail. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Ben does all that stuff.
Oh,
Can
how you
why
doing,
is
buddy?
it up here?
What are you in the dark? Is that what's going on?
No.
Trevor,
I
how
don't
you doing, buddy?
Well, not too bad. I wanted to just I was jumping in here. My daughter was with me. She's
Yeah, he said. Yeah,
just
lovely.
she's down here playing her games and stuff. So no, I
Yeah.
just to add to that, I'm not like I am a skeptical person. You come to the paranormal with ghosts,
Yeah.
and Gareth and I used to get into it all the time. He played audio one time when he was at his mom's house, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, but I did have, there's got to be something to it. There's got to be something to it.
Okay, wait. What are you
and that's
talking
why
about?
Okay.
Here-
Because wait a
Sorry,
second,
Trevor,
you got to
okay.
stop, Trevor. Because
He-
Steve
Tre-
left me on the edge of my seat. Steve was about to tell me about the shadow
Okay,
person
so
experience. Is that what you're
Tre-
talking about as
Trevor is
well?
talking about a dear friend of ours, Gareth Davies, who sadly passed away last August, right?
yeah,
Aug-
August 12th or-
August, who had his way of looking at the paranormal, and like you, Trevor, him and I would always butt heads with the paranormal. But sorry, go ahead.
So what I was saying, yeah, I was always skeptical of ghosts, and when I was a skeptical guy on that show on the Mindset
Yeah.
Central, but I did have an experience when I lived in BC. I had several experiences living out there, going out in the mountains and whatnot. But we were on vacation. We were out in BC, hotel out in Nelson, BC, actually, and I had gotten
lived
up in
there. Years ago, I lived there. Yeah.
Oh, I lived out in the Slocan Valley, actually. The family and I, we moved
I'm
out
just
from.
saying I did live in Nelson for a while. That's all. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So like cast.
She was haunting in Nelson.
Holy smokes.
BC,
Beautiful
Nelson.
area. I mean, beautiful. We stayed at the Hotel Villa, I guess it was called, out in Nelson, and we were on a little vacation. And I had gotten up. I don't know. I hadn't even really fallen asleep. Maybe it was like 1 o'clock.
I gotta correct that. I didn't live in Nelson. All my friends do.
Oh.
I lived in Chilliwack. Sorry, but
Chilliwack, oh.
now I'm sorry. No, because
Just
Nelson is
come down,
known.
Chilliwack.
I screwed my brain up there. Sorry, but I just want to say after you're done something about that. Go ahead. So you're in Nelson.
So we're just on vacation, and the only
Yeah.
time, I guess, a real paranormal. That's why I brought up the shadow people, because I got up and this the motel we were staying at, it was kind of like two separate rooms. You had your bedroom, and then you'd walk through just a little archway, and then there was your bathroom and whatnot to the left. So I got up and the air conditioner was up in the wall, so I just got up to turn it on, and I look over to my left, and in the bathroom was it looked like okay, the only way to describe this is a gray person, but it looks like a Spider-Man outfit, only in like a charcoal black colored outfit. And I'm 5'10", and the thing was standing beside me, and
Was the light on in the bathroom, or it was dark
no,
on dark?
no, like because
black on black.
beside the air conditioner and in the bathroom was with a window, so we had like a little bit of light coming in, but
Okay.
nothing.
Yep.
I turned and I looked, and I'm staring at this thing, and I'm still fiddling around with the air conditioner. And I'm like, it didn't scare me. It did not scare me at all, because I am skeptical on ghosts, but I looked and I'm like, I actually started getting angry. And how to describe this? It kind of walked from out through the bathroom to within about 4 feet of me, standing beside the air conditioner. And I just looked at it and said, "What the fuck do you want? Like, what do you want?" And then
Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, really,
That's an appropriate response, to be honest with you.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, it looks like Spider-Man in a grayish black outfit. And I'm like,
Cool.
what the fuck?
Did you
There's
feel
no
like you could touch it?
I felt like if I did it would be
Any smell or odor that
no
you
smell.
remember?
It just sat. It was beside
No.
me, identical in but my height and everything. I'm like, Christ, am I dead? What is this?
Wow.
So I walked towards the bathroom and it started walking back, and it did not lose its focus on me. It had no face, but I could tell it was focused on me.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got into the bathroom, I turned the light on, and it's not there. And I'm like, what the? Like,
Wow.
and the thing is, I went out and told my wife, and I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God, like this
Oh
just
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
But it didn't scare me. It pissed me off more than anything else because I'm looking
I
over
get
going, what do
you.
you want from me?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I said, what do you want from me? And it didn't. It was not afraid of me as well, but it didn't want to i- interact with me any closer than it came out of the bathroom, and I'm like, that's when I
Sound like it
stopped.
was watching you.
Well, yeah, I'm like, the only other
Well,
time that happened, I did have it happened
Keep the
twice, but
shadow person.
well, it happened in BC as well too. I was down.
Yeah.
Now
oh wait.
I wasn't doing any of the BC bud or nothing like that. So both times,
That goddamn BC bud, right?
oh, the BC bud.
I'm not aware that smoking like adds to
Are you telling me you're
Yeah.
not aware of the BC bud,
No,
Cena?
I'm not aware of these things like cannabis actually influencing. To be honest with
But
you,
everybody else, but
the things I've seen over the years, I was stone cold sober. So
yeah,
Stone cold
same
BC
with me. And
stuff.
now I was really, I think back to the moment, I didn't act in fear. I was more angry. I looked at it and said, what do you want?
I like it. Yeah.
Like, and it was more startled with me when I came. Now I've always told my wife, I said, now we watch those paranormal shows, and I'm like, I can tell you right now, the ghost would be screaming, wanting out of the house if I was in with it, because they anger me. They get me. If the ghosts are real,
Well,
and we had
that's recommended. That's what I was saying. That Agrippa's book of the occult talks about certain levels, and just get pissed off. And I've done that
well, they
myself,
do.
not knowing. I didn't know. I hadn't read the book yet, but I certain places I went to, I was harassed in many ways. Like one was being thrown across the room, and I got so pissed off. Like both times that I got messed around, and I did scream, and they stopped bugging me. Didn't mean that it didn't bother other people.
Okay, I just it's the only
Like
real paranormal experience I had was I call now I've watched shows where they talk about shadow people, and every time I see a
yeah.
shadow, they it's the people are in the forest and they're walking, and it's now the only other time I really saw
That
something too, I was by a
you
creek
saw
bed.
one in a forest? Really? Because
Oh,
I
now
always thought I
you
didn't know that. I always
read
thought
my
they happened.
ears on this,
I
Trevor.
know so
She
little about
wants
these
to know
shadow
more
ones.
about the forest now.
Yeah.
Well, the forest one, I was with my daughter, and we were just by a creek. And I remember kind of looking up on a hill a little bit, and I'm like, "What the
Daytime?
hell?" Yeah, daytime,
Okay.
and I'm like, I could feel something looking at me out of the corner of my eye. Again, my left side too. The first time that happened in Nelson in the hotel, and then the second
Interesting.
time out of the corner of my left eye again. And I look up and I'm like, what the hell? Again, it didn't scare me. It just
Yeah.
angered me. Like, why would something be watching me?
That's beautiful. I really love your reaction to it. I think that's healthy.
Well, they don't, my wife's always like, if there's a
Well, it's
ghost
not
in her
like
house,
it's turned up all over the place, right? It's not like it continued. Like I was, Steve was asking me if I had experiences, and there was something that has been with me my whole life that came. And when it first came, it was dark and black, and it caused me to be fearful. It wasn't like it frightened me; its presence caused that. So I decided I want to know what this is, and studied and asked, and eventually that's a long other story. But I haven't had this, what you're talking about, an actual
Okay.
dark figure. And I really love your response to it. I think that's healthy. And I worry about people because there's some people who have it, and it seems to just continue bothering them, and they're terrified. And that's the same with spirits, right? I know I've told people just get angry and they'll go away, and they do, right? Like, but if you're
Okay.
scared, they have more power in a sense, you know? So I gather it's similar with these. What are they called again?
Well, I just shadow people. Like, I
Okay,
mean,
that's it. Yeah.
years ago, I've watched. I don't know the name of the paranormal shows, but I've watched them, and then I thought, geez, I've had that experience twice.
Wow.
One time was really, it was in the hotel room, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you looking at me? It didn't say, because it wasn't really strange. It didn't have a face to it. You think afterwards you'd be looking at something, it doesn't have a face, and it would be very creepy or something, but it actually just bothered me more than anything else. I'm like,
No, I love it. I think that's beautiful that you
still trying to work
know,
on the camera. I
had
don't
an
know what.
honest. Thank you for the skull. Is that your buddy there? That's another buddy you have. You left? Did you leave? Oh,
No, sure.
let's hear Steve's story as well, because I know so little about these. I now that you're saying forced, I didn't know that. I thought they were more in people's homes. That changes it. Interesting. So
Yeah, just by the forest, just by the creek bed, and it was just like a look up, and I'm looking at this thing. It's like freaking Spider-Man, and it's like Venom. Really, it looks like a black outfit.
One of my favorite parts of Spider-Man.
It's
It's one of my favorite here.
Spider-Man.
No,
doesn't it look?
it's
the only way I could really describe it. It's like a spider. It's only black.
I understand, and I can see it when you say that. Thank you. What about you, Steve? What about yours?
What about mine? What?
Your shadow person experience.
Oh, the shadow.
Yeah, maybe Trevor can help you with it.
I was investigating an old pioneer cemetery. And in the middle of nowhere, and snapping some pictures. There's only a few of us there, and snapping some pictures, and what looked like to be, I guess, two people in front of me. And I'm snapping the pictures and noticing that there's only one person in the photos. I'm like, wait a sec. What's going on here? There's two people in front of me, but one in the photo. What's going on? So, I call out to the person in front of me, directly, hey, Mike, what's going on? Yeah, where's so and so? Oh, they're on the other side. Okay, well, so who's in between us? Because I got two people here. I'm snapping pictures, and there's only one person in the photos. What's going on? And as soon as I said that, the person in between us decided to just literally walk towards the corner of the fucking cemetery and disappear.
Okay. I remember you. I remember something similar to this. That's interesting. So it was a shadow person then, and that was outdoors as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you would know more about this than Trevor. There's probably a bunch of things, but that no, I haven't encountered it. I've encountered a lot of different things, but not a shadow thing.
Shadow.
Not a shadow thing?
Yeah, I mean,
they call them shadow people, but I mean, it's just a shadow that looks like a person. It's not a person or people.
like
are they human?
I'm just going on the semantics here. Ignore me. What's that?
Yeah, I can't explain it. I remember it clearly, vividly, just trying to just fiddle it. I'm sitting there, and it wasn't just like a quick 30-second thing. It was, I mean, I was adjusting the air conditioning, and I'm looking to my left, and I'm like, what do you want? Like, go away. Like,
it's neat. That's really neat. And they don't seem to speak ever, right? They're just there.
Well, the question is, are they human?
Or do
Trevor? Are they human, Trevor?
Well, I said they're not people, so I'm just assuming.
Are they dangerous or whatnot? I don't know. It's almost like, am I being observed? I'm like, it's an alien observing me through the window shaker air conditioner. I'm like, that can't be that exciting. I don't know.
Well, that's true. I mean, but we all are in one other way. That's another story. That's another story.
Are we being observed? I did spend time out in the Rocky Mountains. I lived in Calgary, and then we lived in BC. So I would drive down logging roads for hours on end and get out and walk around. And I mean, there's nothing but elk standing in front of me. And one time I had to go back to my Jeep. Now I'd always have, being in Canada, I mean, I can't have my gun with me or nothing, but I'd always have something like a walking stick or something. I call it my
I
band dog,
I like how you pointed out your Jeep.
my Jeep. I had to walk back one time. I don't consider myself kind of got to get frayed, but something was like the hairs on my beard were sticking up like this. I was like, whoa. I had to walk back, got in my Jeep. That happened once, and I mean, I was out there a lot, just driving out logging roads and just west of Calgary, and then we went to BC. I mean,
So,
I'd go out on trails and
Steve,
find deer's legs. I mean,
this
it
is
just
the one that you
obviously,
mentioned that in like you've been tracking Sasquatch. You
yeah,
said
I tried to. I always was out there interested in him.
just in case or it. I mean him.
Yeah, I've always been interested in that. That's the
Their
paranormal.
families, aren't they? Well, there's a weird story, aren't they? I mean, because there's a bunch of stories about them actually related to craft, right? I,
There's
like
like
there's
the
the
Bigfoot
natives.
world.
Some of the
Yeah.
native traditions say it is an essence, an energy, a thing that actually is real, like physical. It's like a more spiritual, but it's actually physical as well. One of their teachers kind of thing, or I'm not certain of it, but I have heard them speak about it. I haven't directly personally talked to any of the indigenous folks I know about it. We have other conversations, that are far more important in this time for them. But it is part of the tradition in there in the indigenous people, so it's not new, right? It's not,
No, no.
yeah.
That's the thing that when I'm not so much involved in the Bigfoot world anymore. But it's funny. It's not like it's a huge community, but it is divided on different theories. I follow more of the Grover Krantz. If
Okay,
anyone's
which one
familiar,
is that?
Grover Krantz, an anthropologist from Washington State University.
Okay.
He really thought I do think they're more of a just an actual creature, like a bear or a deer, like us, and that's just how I feel like they truly are. And then, I mean, like you lived in Chilliwack. I mean, BC. I mean, you could walk down a path
Oh yeah, I
and
used to walk into the mountains and play my flute, yeah,
I mean,
or my
it's just,
guitar or whatever, yeah.
well, I mean, we like where we lived in BC. We had a bear that lived on our property. We had 25 turkeys, all wild. We had we had everything. We had chickens on our deck, and we just had everything. We had 7 acres out there, and you think
Yeah.
about, especially walking down a path 5 feet into the forest, you can't see past.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you could
yeah.
hear, it's just so much that could be out there, and it's people are like, oh, there couldn't be anything out there. I'm like, you don't understand until you've actually went down a logging road, parked your
Yeah.
vehicle, and just walked. And I did that several times. And like I said, just got out of my Jeep. I walked 50 feet and I found the front legs of a deer. I mean, just
Well,
stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
just in
I don't know.
reference to our existence, in the sciences, even though there are other types of dimensions, and there are beings, actual whole physical beings that are capable of moving through those dimensions, right? They talk about energy and power, and it's like, well, there's nothing
Right.
more powerful than you. There isn't, right? Like every living being has something that creates their life, the fact that they exist, and that is actually you as well. Like, so we are capable of a lot more than we're taught, but science right now is like having some real problems with many of their equations going, oh, wait a minute, we know we're missing something. Let's call it dark matter. I mean, they keep
Dark matter.
we don't know what dark matter is. No, really, I spend a lot of time listening to them because they are on this beautiful little path of discovery, right? About things that I've spent time experiencing myself, and other people have spent time experiencing all over the globe. But I like it better than a church, because a church is going to say here, because to me it's all the same in the end, right? It's an organization. The church says, here's how you live, and this is why you should live that way. You shut your mouth otherwise, especially if you're a woman. That's a big deal right now, right? Don't speak. But anyway, yeah, okay. So what I'm saying is it possible that part of the reason we don't get to see them, is as often as we'd like, right? Is they're not very social. They live in a slightly other dimension and here.
Well, I'm beginning to understand why Bigfoot isn't social. I'm the older I
By
get.
hanging out with humans, yeah, you're like, oh, I get it.
But
you just smell a human. Just smell a human from a few miles away. You're like, oh shit, let's get out of here. Right.
Just from what just from my observance, walking in the forests in the Pacific Northwest, and I think, yeah, a creature that's described like a Bigfoot could exist out there. I'm fascinated.
As a community is the issue, right? Okay. They would have to have the only thing that I find really funny and really cool is as they say, well, we haven't found skeletal remains. It's like, yeah, well, you just don't find skeletal remains often of big mammals and certain types of animals in the forest. I've gone through the forest and seen a bunch of a pile of duck bones. Right. And so somebody must be killing them and dropping them there. But they say, and I'm not one to, I do a lot of hiking. And when I was in BC, when I was younger, I did a huge amount into the forest there and didn't think of it, but I haven't done a huge amount that way, like right out into the nowhere. So, but I'm told that people who do a lot of it, and they say you just don't see big animals and their bones. It's just, it's very unusual to find them.
No, like I came across body parts of deer, but I mean, it was just fresh killed probably by a mountain lion or a bear or something, but you don't come across bones. Everything gets broken down out there. And the only way things get fossilized is that there has to be close to a water source and it has to get trampled down. Like that's
a whole other thing, or some weird stuff, right? Because we have some rocks in Ontario like that where you can stand like look at it, just even close to me, right on the escarpment, where it's full, as you're saying, sedimentary rock. It's full of dead animals and their fossilized forms right there. I mean, within a half a mile where I lived, I could go look at a rock like that here, right where I'm living, and as well as Steve, but you're saying big animals, it's how long did it take before they really got dinosaurs, right? And that's the very special circumstances where they find those, right? The bones.
Drumheller. Yeah, I went out and visited the dinosaurs out in Drumheller, the Badlands. That was interesting.
Awesome.
That was fun going out there too. Yeah, just I don't know, my paranormal, like I say, just Gareth and I don't know, we didn't we definitely were on different paths, and even with Ben and stuff, I'm on different paths. But I wonder sometimes, what is it? Is it some kind of crossover, like a wormhole? Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
No, like for me, I'm like
let me ask you, Trevor. When you said you didn't see eye to eye with Gareth on the paranormal,
right? Well,
I'm just curious. Out of curiosity,
different paths.
Like I was the same way. I mean, there was a lot of things that Gareth sort of, I didn't agree with, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, it was just the one time. He had that. We had to visit his mom, and he'd heard his bedroom door open. It was late at night, and he just thought it was his brother. So he thought, why is my brother opening up my bedroom door? What's he doing here? And then the next morning, I think from he said his brother was downstairs having coffee, and he said, "Why'd you open my door last night?" He goes, "I wasn't even here." So he did record it that night, and you could hear the door opening, like an old squeaky door, and you could hear boots, and it sounded like like a guy. It was definitely a heavy set person wearing like work boots. He had to be at least 200 pounds to make the sound on this hardwood. And you
Mhm.
hear these boots walking, and Gareth is like, "Holy shit, that was happening while I was sleeping." And I just, I kept asking questions. Like I said, oh, because his mom, now his dad had passed away back in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
So his mom had this like 3-story brick home in Wales. Like just imagine one of those big old, I call them like English homes. And um, I said, oh, there must be teenagers in the attic and they're coming down at night or something. I see,
That's
for me,
scary.
that I have to find some logical
Well, you
explanation.
have, yeah, but you have to look for those things. I mean,
And that's
I just want to say that myself personally, having had quite a few experiences with ghosts, specifically ghosts, because there's many other things that I've experienced, but that they don't actually have anything really all that interesting to tell you. They wouldn't have when they were alive, and they really don't. Like if they're sticking around, because I mean, I've had family members and people close to me who passed, and it was just a moment. They came to me and they said, "Here you go. Here's something beautiful. Here's a gift." Gone, right? But these people sticking around, they have nothing. Like they'll just like one of them used to go up and down the stairs and tell people who visited me, "Tell Zena to talk to me. I want to talk to her."
Yeah.
And and he throw cupboards onto the floor, like entire shelves, or pretend he did it and only have the sound happen in the next room with witnesses hearing the sound of the cupboard falling, right? He would throw things around and he would harass me, but really all he wanted was just to say, "That's my name. I found his name." He kept saying his name.
my name.
He kept saying his name and I'd hear it, right? And I go, yeah, whatever, Mike. And his name wasn't Mike, it was Michael. Michael
Oh.
Pierce was his name.
Yeah.
And so when I got the info, he was a little less irritating. He stopped running up and down the stairs. I mean, he stopped throwing things in general, but really all of the ones, that's only one, right? All the ones I've ever encountered really had nothing important to say to me. I just want people to know that. Other things I've run into did, but I'm serious.
I find with the paranormal world too, it really is shows like with that Zach guy. Can't stand him.
Oh my God, Zach
he ruined it
Bigot.
for people like me who are very skeptical.
Is that a name? That's that guy? I like
what's
that.
the-
Can I say like that?
even, like
don't-
prime
I'm not
example of
familiar,
Demon
but-
House. It's like, the
okay.
guy's an idiot.
paranormal show. There's something that's a problem with. They just embellish something, and
Exactly, Trevor. I
I
agree.
want to look at the sounds. There was 2 guys that did. There were 2 plumbers, Jason and Grant.
Yeah,
Remember
taps. Yeah, go
Tap.
Sentence.
Now
Yeah.
I thought I watched their show more because
Yeah.
it was they seemed more legit, and the things they did.
in the beginning, and then they
Well, is there?
they
Well, we
fell
know
they fell victims to the whole look at we need to produce some evidence.
we have to
That's
show something, which as any investigator knows, that you may never in your entire life have anything to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then guys start embellishing it, and then it makes me think, oh, I hate that. It doesn't do anything. It's like the Bigfoot world, like the freaking finding Bigfoot show.
Same shit.
They park their car and walk in 100 feet. And, oh, where's Bigfoot? Like, well, you got to do a bit more than that. And that kind of show, that's why, like, when I come to paranormal research, like for Bigfoot, I mean, if you're in the Bigfoot world, like Grover Krantz, the guy passed away 20 years ago, but his research was very serious. He really worked on the Patterson Gimli, and he went out to the area and he interviewed him, Patterson and Gimli,
because that's incredible evidence, right? That first
it is
footage,
sick,
right?
Yeah, you have people who will claim, well, no, they came forward and said that was faked, but whatever.
Did they?
Well, Grover Krantz went out and he claimed that he asked them questions that they couldn't answer his question. Like he was asking them like very in-depth scientific questions. He's an anthropologist, and one of the best you find Grover Krantz was through In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
And now that show, it's obviously entertainment and whatnot, but I did enjoy that show. And or you just YouTube Grover Krantz, and like
Yeah.
I say, his information on Patterson Gimli, it's just amazing. So I do like that scientific, and then of course you get and like obviously in the Bigfoot world, you get those stupid Matt Moneymaker on Finding Bigfoot. They're just out there. I mean, his last name's Moneymaker, so
That tells
know.
you everything.
well,
I
Yeah.
had seen a show recently, like I was telling Steve, or I mentioned or threw in there to Steve about guns and hanging in the forest and wanting to kill them. We're hunting them.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I just, and they have justifications for this idea, and it's just horrific. I just think, like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna find out where they're camped. and I'm gonna-
I'm coming for you.
I'm a veteran,
I'm coming for you.
and I'm not some fake commando, bud. No, I'm not a commando, but I certainly was trained at things.
Cena is a commando. Don't let her sell you differently.
Whatever that is. I don't even know where commandos are. What the heck is that? Kids' toys, TV show. Commando style. I might be a ninja.
Oh, you're a ninja now.
More ninja. Yeah, no,
You're
I've been
more
told
ninja than
that.
commando.
Yeah, I've been told that my whole life. You're a ninja.
Ninja.
I'm a ninja.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be going and hunting him. Bigfoot.
No, I know. I'm just saying that I want to hunt the hunters of.
Some of them wanted. Some of
You
them.
want to
some
hunt
people-
the hunters of
Well,
Bigfoot?
I'll tell you.
No, I didn't
Well-
say that. Is this going on? Is this going to be recorded and left on? I said nothing of the sort.
Oh, that's the only way you're going to get evidence, though. I mean, just to bring in a body of a Sasquatch. That's the only way.
Run
you're
up
gonna-
and grab its fur.
Yeah, I don't. It would probably.
It'd be easier than getting a photo of them, I think.
Well, that's the thing. Get all the photos and thousands of.
No, drones are going to help with this whole thing.
Oh, drones. Oh,
They're
man.
going to help,
The
right?
footage that drones have picked up of Bigfoot is incredible. Not.
Yeah, I was gonna say now. From what I saw,
No.
people,
No, I'm just saying though, when the
No.
really, really well trained understanding, not these television people. I know. You know, we live in
you
a
said that
weird
politely, like these television people will not tell you the truth.
world. Did I say that? No. Well, they got to sell the show. They got ads. To
Well,
sell.
yeah,
You know,
that-
there's like
that- that's the
hundreds of
thing.
thousands of
They're
dollars.
They're there to sell you something.
Yeah, they're not there
a
to say,
salesperson.
let's put some real time and effort into putting together a plan over a 5 or 10-year plan of
Yeah.
going in and checking things out and setting stuff up. And I mean, really, I think of, and I hate that I can't think of the name, but over in Europe, the Halcid Lights, or what the heck is the name of it? That's horrible. But anyway, in that country, I think it's Norway. Geez, my producer right now would come on the show and type it on the thing beside me there. But my producer's not here. Anyway, over, I think it's Norway. If anyone knows better than me, please tell me. But anyway, the lights in the mountains, and they were real. There's no question. So they set up a station there. And this station was also hooked up eventually with MUFON as well, because they said, well, we don't know what this is. They're something, you know, they're phenomenal, they're strange, they're unusual, and they studied it, and it was determined that it's a type of plasma for sure, but
Plasma.
Yeah.
Plasma.
it actually has
Wait a sec.
physicality. It has
Plasma?
physicality as energy, and plasma is probably the best description of what it is. And the water is running down the other side of the mountain.
Ectoplasma.
And there's on one side there's two separate types of metals that are causing with water.
Ectoplasma.
Are you familiar with what I'm talking?
Ectoplasma.
they set up a place to experiment on it, right? It was there for years. I think it's still there, but they may have determined what it is. They didn't say for sure, though. Just so you know, if you're familiar with those lights.
No.
Yeah, I am. I Bed Evelyn Jones interviewed me and sent my case to MUFON when we were living in Calgary. I don't know if I told you this on one of the shows.
No,
Steve.
you haven't, Trevor.
So when he said the blue lights, I'm like, oh my God. Well, it was about midnight, and the wife and I were living in Calgary at the time, and we were sitting on our deck, second floor deck, and we look up in the sky, and I'm like, you see shooting stars and whatnot. Well, we see something that it's going along. It's kind of going a little slower, and then it does like a right angle turn, and then we're like, I laughed. I go, oh my God, it's like the Enterprise. I was like, what the hell? We started taking they took a couple right hand turns, like it was going along and just all of a sudden like that, and it gone. Couple right angle turns, which I mean, shooting stars don't make that. They just go, shooting star.
Yeah.
Well, we're sitting there and we're like, what in the hell was that? That was freaky. But 2 minutes later, a funnel shaped, like a bluish white lights. It was shaped like a funnel, about I don't know.
Wow.
500 yards. Now we lived out. There was farmer's field out where this was happening, and it looked like a funnel cloud, and it was just bright bluish white. And my wife ran inside. She's like, I'm fucking out of here. And she ran inside. Now I stayed out, and I'm like, she's like, oh my God. Like, so we see this thing, and I joke, and I'm like, oh, that thing's moving like the Enterprise. Like, it's just a couple right angle turns. And then a few minutes later, this bright white, bluish, and it was like high. I'm like, oh my God. We're like, what the fuck? It's coming up from the field, and it lit up the sky.
Yeah.
And
so what were you thinking? I'm literally experiencing something extraterrestrial.
Yeah,
that
was
well. I'm like I'm saying, those lights that I'm speaking of. They think they have an idea of what it is, but it's still a phenomena that they can't actually prove. So they really don't know what it is. They just know.
Yeah. But what about Trevor's experience though?
No. I mean, there's the Brown Mountain lights.
I wasn't on
Brown Mountain lights. Oh yeah.
Well, no, these things are all over the place.
Yeah.
And they're usually kind of centered around a particular area. And so had other people seen a lot of this? Where were you at the time?
We were in kind of like the most western part you could be in when you're living in Calgary. So this happened out in a farmer's field. And we're like, what the the way, because she couldn't stand it. She's like, okay, freaking something in the sky. And then this thing she went inside, and I'm out in the balcony, like, I'm like, great, I'm gonna get zapped here. But I was staring. I'm like, it's like 500 yards in front of me, like what? It's got to be. But then again, I think it's quite interesting. But I always think too, there's got to be some kind of. It's got to be something, chemicals,
possibly, right?
Well, you're trying to think rational about it.
If I could find this particular case that they studied and investigated,
it's on MUFON.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Yours is on MUFON.
Yeah,
are you familiar with the one I'm talking about as well?
Yeah, in Norway. It sounds like it almost sounds like the same things as that we saw. It's like a funnel
and the Brown Mountain lights. Yeah.
These are
We
were like this is bright. It was very bright lights, and like a very bluish white. And we're like I said, the white. She went inside. She said, I'm done.
People would sit at that spot. Besides putting the monitoring station, that's part of the reason they put it there, is because people would go to see them, and it was regular. And there's footage of, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's quite a bit of footage of them, and they're quite shocking. And it's probable that it has something to do with, weird physical phenomena. It could be, it's not ghosts, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not saying I know what it is, but
I remember that night. I mean, there's things that have happened to me, and it's got to be something like it's gapped in the ground.
You gapped out from it? You
I
like a
don't,
lot. Did you lose time or?
I don't think so. It was still nighttime.
Did
Like
you
I
ever
don't,
did you ever lose time when you were looking for the Sasquatch?
yeah, one time I had my videos, all my videos and pictures just went dead. I was filming out in the forest. I don't know. I'm like, what the just went dead. And I did have some weird feelings, but I don't know. I mean, when I went out, I went out. I would park and I would walk 5-6 kilometers into a forest.
Yeah.
And I would always keep my bearings and I would walk along ridge lines and just come into meadows and whatnot. And I never really, I did have a black bear come at me once. Not really come at me, but I mean, there was just one encounter. But I don't know. Never really. I had pepper spray, so I
Yeah,
just
black
felt
bears
you
are.
were prepared.
I've met a few black bears. They're pretty
yeah.
mellow.
Like I said, we had
They're mellow. Did
They
you
are,
say mellow?
the ones I met were.
you just the mountain lions. Mountain lions are probably the worst things you could be up in a
Oh,
tree. You don't know they're there, but
Yeah, you know what? We're
yeah.
long pig and we taste like crap for them. Like,
Yeah, I'm
we're a
not.
lot.
I'm like, I'm.
All right,
I'm
all
not going to
right,
roast.
guys.
all right, is it too late now? Is it time to head out? I can't
Yeah.
believe this. I can't. Thank you, Trevor.
Zena, get your stuff out there.
Thank
Let
you,
everyone
Steve.
know where to
Oh,
find
okay.
your podcast.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. Steve is going to be joining me soon. We're going to be. I'm always looking for guests, Trevor. Hint, hint.
Trevor, you've been
always
picked on.
looking for
You have to
guests.
show up on Zena's show.
Yeah, make arrangements. I'm sure that Steve could make sure you get in touch with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. I'd really appreciate it. So I'm posting a link right now just so you can get there. It's under Sublimatus there. I just posted it for everyone. So it's Sublimatus. My Heart Remembers is the name of the podcast, and I have like I said to Steve earlier, it really is about the people who still pursue awe and wonder, people who offer service to their community. There's many ways of offering service, and every single one of the people I have on the show are offering service to their community. Be it assisting people who've had abductions, be it somebody who does a radio show and just introduces people, be it an artist by bringing art forward, be it organizers of events around the world. It's people from all over the world, though. And the list of people, if you look at it and see their professions and things they do, you might be very shocked. Put it this way, there isn't anyone on there who is extremely famous in any way, in a broader sense of the word, but they are absolutely important, and the things they do are integral to the growth of humanity in special ways, every single one of them. So there are some psychologists I brought on, doctors, all kinds of people, scientists, but it's about, I like to bring people on there to give their stories of their history. So that's My Heart Remembers. And
We'll
Now
have
is
to put you in touch with
that's not
Jeremy Crow too. I think you'd love to have Jeremy on the show too.
well, I have I had forgotten about him. Anyone you can suggest,
yeah,
I'd really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Jeremy's great. I love Jeremy. Jeremy's a great guy.
now is that
Trevor, get your stuff out there with Third Rail
well,
Radio, and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, Third Rail Radio. I do with Ben. I'm just, I just jump on. He says this is what we're doing, and I say okay. I don't know how to edit. I can't add anything to. Yeah, like post the Third Rail Radio. I'm like, I don't know how to. No, whatever. Just go to Facebook, Third Rail Radio. I think it's on Stitcher Radio.
It's on Stitcher. Yeah, it's on a few platforms.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ben
Yeah,
does
I've
all
put
that.
my
And
Yeah.
I give him credit. He does all that. Like mostly we talk kind of like what's going on in the world, because like paranormal is like I say, Bigfoot is, if I'm going to go in the paranormal, Bigfoot is my thing. I'm skeptical. I don't want to be not like a Michael Schumer kind of skeptical.
Well,
but,
no, you're being honest, and that's what I love.
yeah,
You're
like
being
Gareth,
honest. I want your honest opinion.
like Gareth probably believed in ghosts, and I'm like, I think there's got to be something else to it or something. But
You know
obviously,
what? Gareth was an art bill.
yeah, he was.
Gareth, he
I
knew
love
how to
Art
do.
Bell.
You know what? I love Gareth.
He'd always go a little further than I was expecting, but
I love Gareth, and it's unfortunate that he's not with us in here anymore. But you know what? I love Gareth, and
Yeah, Gareth. I just because on Mindset we talked, we'd have
yeah,
paranormal days. So
yeah.
Bigfoot was kind of like my my expertise. I guess I'm not an expert on it, but I mean, I've been loving it for 42 years. I've loved
Mhm.
Sasquatch. So ever since Steve, the $6 million man, fought him on the. Anyway, if you've ever seen the $6 million man, he fights Bigfoot.
Oh,
No.
that was classic. That's
I have
classic.
not
man.
seen that, but I think that would be a cool
What?
fight. Why would Bigfoot fight anyone? As far as we know so far,
Well, he was it's
$6
just that
million
was my.
man has been fighting since the day that they walked off the assembly line, and Bigfoot has never been known to do that.
No, I know he.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
the only
I'm
well,
a
I mean,
stickler for details.
I
Stupid
that's
details.
that's just my one of my first introductions to Bigfoot, and obviously watching with my dad in search
Yeah.
of.
It
But,
was it was my first too, man. $6 million man, Bigfoot
Yeah,
against
yeah.
Steve Austin.
I'm like 6 years old,
So
and
this is a
and
show. This happened on
Yes,
oh.
yes. In the
it's just
in
like
the
I can't remember the actor who
I
played it.
was television
Oh,
depraved.
it was originally Andre the Giant.
Yep,
Oh,
Andre
I
the Giant.
love Andre
Andre the
Giant.
Giant, and then I forget the guy who took over for Andre the Giant.
I heard an interview with Andre the Giant and the people who worked around him the other day. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Who
Really
played,
cool being.
that's who played the big. I just scared the hell out of me. You know,
Hey
but
man.
I'm
When I think of the $6 million man, I think of the two-parter with Bigfoot.
So is that your first foray with Bigfoot? You're both saying that.
Absolutely.
pretty
Oh,
much
you want
that.
to know mine? Do you want to know mine?
Sure.
My parents bought every type of book possible. It's not like, oh, here, this leans that way, so we're going to get it. No, they had children, so we have to have all the leanings. So one thing they had in their collection were these handmade UFO books, magazines. They're probably worth a mint right now, or at least $3. But they were handmade. They were put on those old copy machines, and I've looked them up. They exist, but that's the first place I ever heard about Bigfoot. But I was like pop depraved. I'm joking, but it's true. I am pop illiterate because of my parents. I do know about the $6 million man,
Yeah.
but I rarely ever watched any of the shows, and I'm really sad I missed that one. I have to look it up.
YouTube. It's like an 8-minute long battle between the $6 million man and now the thing is, Sasquatch was an alien. The aliens
I'm telling you, that magazine I had said that.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, anyway, that's
What was that, Steve?
It's a possibility.
Third rail radio. So I do that with Ben. Yeah. So and mostly that's just covering the world news, what's going on in the world, because I don't know. I find
that's crazy stuff.
Yeah, we just like to, like I say, Ben. He's the master of UFOs. He knows.
Ben is a master. Yes.
Ben is the master of UFOs.
Well, no. Ben is incredible. He is a wealth of knowledge. He is just incredible.
So I need him to actually listen to the show that Steve and I are doing, because I want some answers. And if he has some after we do the show,
Ben has tons of answers. I'm telling you, the guy is incredible.
I have a really, really specific questions I want to
Well, you know what? Ben, you'd love to have Ben on your show too.
See, Ben and I, when we talk, I said, well, I guess, the only thing left is an alien invasion. So I don't know. What's going on?
Oh, I hear that's coming very soon.
We'll leave that at that.
What about the
alien
zombie
invasion is about to happen.
I thought,
guys,
Are we gonna have an alien invasion and a zombie?
No.
No.
Alien
Well,
invasion, and
When the
that's it.
second coming of Christ comes, we're gonna have a zombies. All
Well,
over the
that's
place.
part 2. When you guys come on for part 2,
Yeah.
guys, thank you for coming on.
Oh,
I
Thank you.
absolutely appreciate it, Trevor. I love it, man. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Trevor,
Well,
everyone listening.
yeah.
Thank
I
you,
always
Steve.
watch. I just usually like right in front of me, like my daughter.
Yeah.
We're in my studio den right now.
Trevor, regardless,
Lovely.
thank you for coming on, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Hey, and nothing
And
weird happened. Nothing weird happened.
I know this
Hi,
time
Mimi.
nothing weird happened. And Zena, thank you for coming on, and I look
Thank you.
forward to coming on for your podcast.
Thank you.
And we'll do this again. We love doing this, and we'd love to have you guys back.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve.
Excellent. I'll
Guys,
jump in
Take
anytime I
good
can.
care of yourself, everyone.
take care.
Stay safe.
Bigfoot rules, and we'll figure it out. If he's alien or not for the next episode, is Bigfoot alien or not? Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.